Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the United Stand. We're live for Manchester United versus Brentford. Manchester United's last game at Old Trafford this season. And if we get 3 points, a big, big opportunity for Manchester United to firm up Europa League football and start focusing on the summer, safe in the knowledge that we're not going to be playing in the Conference League. That's what tonight's all about. We have got some exciting team news. It's not actually officially been confirmed yet, but I'm liking this team news because it's very much like the team I predicted. Oh yes, get in, get in. We're gonna feast tonight. This is the sort of team I like to see. De Gea, Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, Telles, McTominay, Matic, Bruno, Mata, Alanga, Ronaldo. No Rashford, no Lingard, no Cavani. None of those lot. They've not been there when we needed them. Mata gets the start he deserves. Alanga continues to flourish. Ronaldo through the middle. Bruno's probably a little bit lucky, but McTominay and Matic, I'm happy with that. And then the same back five. I like this team. I like it a lot. No Rashford. He had to be dropped, and I'm very, very happy with that team. Ricky's in his garden with his top round his head. Mata and Matic, I'm telling you, 2 + 2 is Matic. But I'm very happy with that team. Again, I've got to be honest, I felt quite positive about this United side for the last couple of games because I thought that it just feels like effort, which hasn't been there, is more there. I don't think quality's there. I don't think we're going to get that this season at all. But effort seems to be more there. And I'm very, very happy with that team tonight. I believe Bruno Fernandes will still be the captain because he's the vice captain, of course. But yes, I mean, look, it's going to be a difficult game tonight. We're going to go through some of the comments that Ralph Rangnick has said on an interview with Sky, but the team has been confirmed with Mata starting and obviously Matic, McTominay, Bruno, Alanga and Ronaldo as the front three. You've got Bruno as your captain. I think that was expected. And then the subs bench is Henderson, Bailly, Fernandes, Jones, Fred, Lingard, Cavani, Garnacho and Rashford. So whether we'll get to see Lingard or Cavani come on for potentially their last performance of the season at Manchester United, I don't know. Certainly, it will be Mata and Matic's last game at Old Trafford, and I think that there is this rumoured 17-minute from the end walkout, which I know some people are going to do. That is their right; they have a right to protest. I don't think anyone would disagree with anything anti-Glazer, but I hope and think that people like Mata and Matic deserve a send-off from the United fans at the ground tonight. And I think people like Ronaldo and De Gea deserve some appreciation for the season that they've put in as well. So I hope that there are some people there at the end to give these lads, Mata's been here a long time. Matic has done a reasonable job at United. I think Ronaldo and De Gea have had good seasons as well. So it's funny, isn't it? I never thought I would be as content with Mata starting this game. If you'd said to me at the start of the season, I would be celebrating Rashford being on the bench for Mata, I'd have said, what have I been eating? Mushrooms, because that's ridiculous. But I'm absolutely convinced with that, that is the right thing to do. And I think Rangnick's got it right again. Mata in for Rashford is 100% the right decision. Yet again, Rangnick gets it right. Although John says it's a bad lineup, I think it's not about that. I think it's absolutely spot on. I think it's totally spot on. And it's the right thing to do. I mean, the only thing I would say is that McTominay's probably a little bit lucky to start as well. He wasn't that great against Chelsea. And maybe Fred could have come in, but maybe Fred's not quite fit. So I don't really have a massive problem with that. It's a little bit like Bruno, isn't it? I think Bruno's been lucky to start the last couple of games, but actually, who would you play instead of him? And I certainly wouldn't be looking to get Lingard a start just out of sentimental reasons. I'd rather start a Mabry or a Garnacho, but obviously Mabry's not even on the bench tonight, is he? I don't think. I think I got that right when I said he's not on the bench. No, Mabry's not on the bench. Garnacho is on the bench and Fernandes is on the bench with Rashford, Cavani, Lingard, Jones, Fred, Fernandes, Bailly and Henderson. So only one goalkeeper on the bench as well, which is a change and a positive. So happy with that. Yep, I don't know why. That's doing that. Sorry, I just tweeted something and it says only I can reply. Oh, people you follow can reply. That must be a setting from before. So, Welcome to the Members Club, Farhan. And Joshua says, not that I condone abusing players, but it'll be interesting to see the attitude towards Cavani compared to Pogba, says Joshua. Mate, you make a great point, Joshua, and I guarantee you there'll be no booing of Cavani at all. And yet Pogba did get booed. Riddle me that. All I'm going to say is riddle me that. Cavani basically is down tools since Christmas, decides to come back for the game today. Pogba has played and has been at this club for 6 years. All right, it's been an up and down journey, but most of the time, you know, he's put an effort in. But you're right. Food for thought. Been watching Fulham this season and fancy Kenny Tete as a fullback option. Hope this game is a class apology for a shit league season, says Matt Tweed. We got to win. We got to win, Matt. I think that's without a doubt. If you look at the results that happened over the weekend, obviously Wolves lost to Brighton, which is a good result for us. And West Ham lost to Arsenal, which means that we've played the same amount of games as West Ham, and we're 3 points ahead of them. We've played one more game than Wolves, and we're 3 points ahead of them. There's only, 3 games left to go. So, and I think both Wolves and West Ham have got to play City, so you'd expect them to lose that. I don't think West Ham or Wolves will make 60 points, so all we've got to do is win 2 of our last 3, or win 1 and draw 2. So, we should be able to, because Wolves and West Ham are really, obviously West Ham are in the Europa League semi-final. Maybe that's an excuse, but because Wolves have fell apart completely, it's really, really meant that we've probably got away with it. We've probably been quite lucky. I don't know whether we deserve 6th place this year. I think we're worse than 6th, if I'm honest with you. I mean, I look at Arsenal the last couple of years, and they've ended up finishing 8th 2 years in a row. I personally don't think that we deserve 6th, but we'll end up with 6th. If you're interested in the Brentford team, they are playing Tony and Mbuma up front, and Ericsson is playing. I mean, apart from that, I'm not going to read it out. Well, I will do. I'll be respectful. Raya, Asia, Janssen, Beck, Roslev, Norgard, Janelt, Ericsson, Henry, Mbuma, and Tony. So they'll play a 5-3-2, I think, and they'll play on the counter-attack, which is what they tend to do. So there we go. It will be very interesting to see whether Mata can play 90 minutes. A lot of people talking about that on social media and in the chat at the moment. Can Mata play 90 minutes? Welcome to the members, Charlie Kofi and Staffy. Thanks very much for joining. If you want to become a member, click the join button and you get exclusive video content and a badge next to your name in the chat. What's your opinion on Garnacho, says Shan. I'm very excited to see him play more than a couple of minutes, really. Look, very, very... very well thought of player, called up for the Argentinian national squad. But I always have been quite consistent about this. It doesn't matter how good you are in the youth setup until you actually play a bit of first team football, then that is when we really start to see what these players are about. And that obviously is the next big thing for him. So look, I think one of the big positives about winning the game today would be that we pretty much, as you can see the league table there, we'd pretty much solidify 6th place. And we can move on and against Brighton potentially or Palace. Although it's a shame they're both away, but if we can win tonight, then it does give a little bit of freedom in the team selection. Welcome to Members Club, Sam Humberston. Wolves are 6 behind. Sorry, I think I'd said 5. Yeah, 6 behind. So yeah, even if they win their game in hand, they'd be 3 behind us. And Ralph is a G, dropping Trashford. I don't like the word Trashford, Ivan. Fulham are 7-0 up against Luton. Yeah, they're coming up to come back down again. Happy to see some new youth players coming into the first team squad, says Clicks. Well, I want to talk about some of the comments that Ralph Rangnick made to Sky about the season and saying it's a stumble. It's not the end of Manchester United, it's a stumble. He said, look, it's been a pleasure to support, to manage this club as an interim manager. He gave a shout out to the fans. He said it's not been the season they wanted to, but it's a stumble. United will be back, and he's looking forward to his role in the consultancy to rebuild Manchester United. Spencer says, speaks volumes when we're happy a 34-year-old Mata is starting over a 24-year-old Rashford against Brentford, says Spencer. And Cam, who's another member, says, Mark, wouldn't Mata at 10, Alanga off the left and Bruno on the right be better, says Cam. I just think Mata's the right selection. I said it in the preview. We're playing against the back 5. Brentford like to hit on the break. We want to try and keep possession in the final third, and Mata's very good at that. So some people would look at it and go, ooh, Mata and Matic are very old, but I think we'll be looking to press high up the pitch. I'm getting giddy for the end of the season, see what we can manage in the summer. I hope that Joker Rashford doesn't get a minute today. Let's go, Man United. Remember, sign the crispy roll petition to Skin 7. And has Rangnick said anything about the team? Says Charlie Kofi. Not yet. And not sure Mata can play 90 minutes, but Rashford shouldn't be playing 10 minutes also, says Nicky. Well, look, there's been times this season where it's been leaked to the press, or the press have made a story up, whatever you want to call it, that Rashford's been really frustrated that he's been on the bench. I think there was a time when we played Sancho, Ronaldo and Elanga as a front three. Welcome to the Members Club, Andrew. And basically, Rashford was apparently not happy that so many senior players were out. Like Greenwood's obviously been out a while, no Martial, no Cavani, and he still was on the bench. What about today? No Jadon Sancho. There's Ronaldo as a senior pro. Cavani's not able to start either. And Rashford doesn't start. He plays Juan Mata off the right and he plays a youngster off the left. I mean, this is the lowest of the low for Rashford now. There's always a way back, of course. I believe there is a way back. But, I mean, if you thought it's been a bad season, I think tonight is the lowest of the low when you're not getting picked over Juan Mata and a youngster. And yet, you know, a year or two ago, you were the superstar of the team. Future aside, Mata deserves a start. He's played well in his last few cameos, says Joshua Davies. I mean, ultimately, that's the point, isn't it? Marcus Rashford doesn't deserve to start. That performance on Thursday night was a disgrace. Mata's come on the last couple of games as a cameo and done well. You know, is this not what we want to see at Manchester United? The situation where players are picked on form, not on merit. So he hasn't got it wrong. Fulham are going down, up and down like a hooker's knickers, says Arjun. And Mark, I know you said you would back all transfers, but would you back Ten Hag if you really wanted to keep Pogba on a huge deal? Or are you done there, says Jay Piggott. Welcome to the Members Club, Clyde. And what do you think are the chances Rashford may self-reflect on why he was left out, says Stephen? I don't know. I don't think many United players have self-reflected this season, Stephen. I think they live in a house without mirrors. But look, I would say if I was close to Marcus Rashford and he wasn't happy about being dropped, I hope he's got somebody close enough to say to him, it's not nice, is it? But it's the right decision. You've not been good enough this season. And that's just pure acceptance and honesty, isn't it? In relation to whether Ten Hag wants to keep Paul Pogba, look, I said it this morning. I think it's appalling that United have got an offer on the table for 400 grand a week. He doesn't deserve that sort of an offer, and it's just typical of United. But if Ten Hag wants him to stay and he stays, then I don't agree with it, but I'm on board with it. Same with Lingard, same with Cavani. I don't agree with it because I don't think it's a real reflection of improvement or a rebuild. But Eric Ten Hag is the manager. He might sign a player I'm not too sure about. Mata should have always been our backup cam when Bruno came in instead of always overplaying Bruno. This club wastes a lot of players' careers and I hate it, says Dowell. Mata was very good last game, says Max G. Well, I think Mata, hopefully you're going to be very surprised today because the way Brentford play, they will gift up possession, not like Atletico Madrid. They're not going to give us like 70% possession, but I think we'll have like 60-40. And if we're going to keep possession, we want players who are good on the ball and can keep possession. And I think Juan Mata is one player, magnetic first touch. Yes, he's a bit slow, but that might not be a bad thing. I think we might see a really half-decent performance from United today, he says, before the loss. But I'm happy with that team. To be honest, I've got to be honest, it's probably apart from Villa away back in January, that's probably the best team we've put out. I mean, it's not the best team. It's not the best quality team, but it's the team I've been most happy with. And I think most of the players that deserve criticism this year are not there. I mean, with the exception of probably McTominay and Bruno, I think they're very lucky to start, but we really probably haven't got anybody else. Apart from those two, I think most people who deserve criticism aren't playing. I'm more interested in seeing who looks like they're saying goodbye to the fans at the end of the game. It's going to be a lot of these players last game at Old Trafford, thankfully, says Sean Turner. It's always hard to read, though, Sean, because I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ronaldo walking around going like that and people will go, is that Ronaldo saying goodbye? It's very difficult it's hard to read, I think. We need to buy Anthony ASAP. We need a left-footed player playing on the right. It's been a problem since Nani left, says Yadrif. I mean, I'd very much welcome Anthony. I'd very much welcome Timber. We need a midfielder. I mean, I don't know whether anybody saw it, but apparently there's some story coming out today that we've got a clear run at Declan Rice. I don't see that. I mean, that's probably one more for the morning show, really. But I don't think that we've got a clear run at that. Interesting quote from Roy Keane. He says, "You shouldn't be too worried about playing Brentford at home. Show a bit of pride, show a bit of quality. Brentford have had a great season, but I'd fully expect United to beat them." And Juan Mata and Matic will get their Old Trafford farewells tonight, of course, after a combined 13 years at Old Trafford. The team is on the screen, as you've seen before. I'm just going to read you some quotes that came out from Rangnick over the last sort of 24 hours. He says that it will be a similar privilege to remain involved in the future in a consultancy role at Manchester United. I'm feeling energised and determined to do my best in that position as a consultant and help restore this club to the high standards that it demands and deserves. Thank you all for your support. He also says, to finish on a personal note, I have felt great warmth from the Man United supporters since I came over in December, and it has been a genuine honour to be manager of this incredible club, even in an interim capacity. When Ten Hag arrives from Ajax next month, he joins a fantastic institution with great pedigree and, most importantly, great potential. We need to be smart and decisive in our actions around the club, and we have started the process by making a very exciting managerial appointment with Erik Ten Hag. As I've said publicly, the steps that we need to take as a club are fairly clear. We have had a lot of discussions internally, and now that has to happen. That is the position. We've stumbled. We're as a club, and we have clarity in our actions from now on. We can make some big steps in the right direction. I want to be clear, though, this is not a fall of Manchester United. This is a stumble along the way. And when you stumble, you have to think quickly and clearly to regain your balance so you can carry on moving forward. There have been some good moments, but we never built enough positive momentum to allow our confidence to increase. And ultimately, we were unable to rescue the season. This season has clearly been a very difficult one for everyone at the club. And from the short time I've been here, I can see how much everyone's hurting, says Rangnick. There you go. So interesting comments from him there. Very honest. I mean, this is one of the things about Ralph Rangnick, isn't it? We just get this consistent stream of honesty from Ralph Rangnick, and it really is a little bit good. Now, this is interesting from Rangnick, just talking about the team for tonight. We know that front four is Ronaldo, Bruno, Mata and Elanga. So Rangnick's just said to Sky that Bruno will play a little bit more on the left today, which means actually Elanga's going to play off the right, and Mata's probably going to go through the middle with Bruno off the left. So that's quite good. And Rangnick said that Mata's trained well. When he came on against Chelsea in the last 15 minutes, he showed a good performance. He just deserves to be in the starting 11. And I think that's really, 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 really important. And, you know, I think Luke says, Sui is gagging for it. Sue is gagging for it tonight. I hope she is. But I think, look, what is your thoughts on Ralph Rangnick? I mean, we're talking like it's the end of the season. We've still got 2 games to play. And if we lost all 3, including tonight, we'd probably end up in the Conference League. So we've still got to go out there and do a job. I agree with Roy Keane that the players should go out there and put a performance on. Cavani has offered himself to a Spanish club, says Jahshadin. What a surprise there. And I think that when I look at Rangnick's time at United, it hasn't gone well, but I don't really put that much blame on Rangnick. If I'm absolutely honest, I've found his press conferences the most honest we've heard since Jose Mourinho days. I think he's absolutely exposed all the problems at the club. He's exposed the players. Unfortunately, I think Ralph Rangnick's a little bit old school. I think he exposed the players publicly, expecting them to react. They got worse. They down tools even more, which shows you the character of these players. And I think, what's your score prediction, Mark? I'm going with a 2-0, Fabian. But I think with what I've liked about Rangnick is that he's not done what people like Ollie did. He's Jashandeep, thank you very much for becoming a member. What he has done is he's been very true to his word. When he's seen people like Rashford underperform, he's took them out of the team and he won't start them. Even if it means starting a youngster, he won't start Rashford. And I think that sort of strong-mindedness must continue next season. And I don't care who it's with. I don't care whether it's Bruno next season, McTominay, Luke Shaw, Jadon Sancho, you know, whoever Ten Hag has a problem with next season, feels they're not up to it, they're not putting in the effort, drop them. I think I said this morning on the morning show. I really hope, obviously Erik Ten Hag is going to speak to Rangnick, he's going to speak to the players, he's going to speak to the board, he probably reads the media. I really hope he's got somebody giving him a glimpse of fan opinion. Now, I'm not saying watch the United stand, although you're very welcome to do that. But I mean, fan opinion in general, it's not hard to gauge fan opinion. It's just whether modern managers actually want to do it. But the reason I want him to do it is because I want him to see the way that fans have reacted since Christmas, where they see a star player benched and they're like, good, I'm glad they're benched. They're not putting in the effort in the shirt. They're not showing the performance a Man United player should play. That's a very strong weapon to have as a manager next season, knowing that if you drop a superstar, these fans are going to go, good, they deserve it. Now, that doesn't happen everywhere, and it certainly hasn't happened at United a lot over the last 9 years. But Ten Hag needs to be aware that now coming into that job, he's got the full support of the fans. And if he decides he wants to drop a superstar, then he can get away with it. Dominic says, Andy Mitten's article in The Athletic on Ranić is right. Not a great manager. Why we like him is just that it felt like someone senior from board talking to us. The fans' honesty with respect, says Dominic. Yeah, and I think that's something we've spoken about here many a time. I go back to when Ralph Ranić got the job and the conversations we had as a community, and it was very much about, well, we don't know how good he is as a coach, but the consultancy role for the next 2 years was the really exciting point, because he comes into the club, sees what the problems are, and then in the summer helps to rebuild, and that's what's going to happen. But he's more a builder of a club. I don't think he's a great coach. Having said that, it'd be interesting to see what he does with Austria. Rangnick was dumped in a massive quagmire and has shown knowledge and honesty with the lack of support and obstacles to fall was always gone, says Emily Derry. Mark, thoughts on James Ward-Prowse as a CDM, says Ram. I mean, I'm indifferent to James Ward-Prowse. He's a good player. I mean, whether he'd be a good player at United, I don't know, but we're not in for him. What are your thoughts on Elanga this season? He lacks the refinement of a top wonder kid like a Foden or Anthony, but he looks to have the determination and attitude to make a name for himself, says Eddie. I think Elanga's a really good point, Eddie, and we'll come back to what somebody just said there as well. So thanks for the super chats. If you want to get those read out and put on the screen like Dominic has at the moment, please do that through the dollar option. Thoughts on James Garner, says Alex G. You made me forget the previous point, which was about Elanga. So yeah, very similar. If the club resign Pogba, I'll lose my mind, says Luke. If we re-sign Pogba, Luke's going to lose his mind. Yeah, I think there'd be a lot of people who would agree with you on that. On Elanga, I don't know what people's opinion is on Elanga. I've seen people giving him criticism. I've seen people overhype him. I think that Elanga to me is a typical young player. He shows glimpses and then he doesn't. And that's the inconsistency of youth. It's very difficult to gauge what Elanga is. I don't think he's as talented as he's clearly not as talented as a Ryan Giggs. He's not as talented as a Greenwood. Where he fits in, is he going to be as good as Rashford was? Is he going to be as good as a Kieran Richardson or a Luke Chadwick? Is he going to be, it's hard to know, but he's been really important since Christmas because, as I said, Cavani's not asked. Martial wanted to go. Greenwood's been on bail and Rashford's disappeared. So Elanga deserves a big shout out this year because, yeah, he's not the finished article and we don't know what he's going to be, but he's been essential to help us put a team out at times this season. And DJ says Elanga's a very basic footballer, nothing special. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that Elanga's going to be a success. I think he could be. On the other hand, he might not be, but he has been really important to us this season. I don't think we can deny that. In relation to James Garner, I've got no doubt that Forest fans would love to keep him. My preference for James Garner, and look, we don't know what's going to happen in the summer. My preference for James Garner is that he goes on loan to a Premier League club. I think he is the definition of how to use the loan system for young players. He's had a year and a half in the Championship. He's got better and better and better. You could bring him back and use him in the squad, especially with Europa League football. That might be an option. Look, remember, if Ten Hag says, I want you as part of the first team squad, you're not going to start games, but I will give you games in the Europa League, in the Carabao Cup. Let's see where you are at Christmas. I'm happy with that. Alternatively, you find him a Premier League club where he maybe plays 30 games a season, and that might be quite an interesting idea as well. So look, I'm very interested to see what we do with him. Very, very exciting player. But again, until we see him in the first team, we don't know. Dybala, a kingdom for Dybala. What did somebody say about Dybala? So John says, Dybala is a better tactic at Man United under Ten Hag, says John. I'm not so sure about Dybala. Bruno and Mata. Why is Mata not starting with no Bruno? He should have been dropped. He's the new Maguire. I'd much rather see Rashford start, says Barry. Probably in the minority there, Barry, but fair play. For a change, we're not putting 2 goalkeepers on the bench, says Abarib. Yes, good stuff. If United don't get Europa League football, then that's embarrassing, says Alex McCormack. Well, look at the league table now. We've only got 3 games left. West Ham have only got 3 games left. West Ham can only get to 61 points. With 3 games left, they're on 52. They can only get to 61 points. West Ham have got to play Man City. I don't think West Ham will. I think West Ham's maximum will be 58. Therefore, we only need to win 1 and draw 1 to go past West Ham, for West Ham not to catch us. Wolves have got 4 left. Again, they could get 61 points. But again, they've got to play Man City. So I think Wolves maximum 58. West Ham maximum 58. We're on 55 with 3 games to go. We just need 3. We need 4 points from 9. And we will get 6th place. And it will still be a very bad season. I think it's absolutely essential. Absolutely essential, Mark. It's absolutely essential that we hit 60 points. 64 is the lowest points total we've ever had. We can still get that if we win our last 3, which is the lowest points total we've ever had. I don't think we will win our last 3, if I'm absolutely honest with you, but we've got to get to 60 points. If United don't get to Europa League football, then that's embarrassing, says Alex McCormack. We've read that one, haven't we? Sharaf Kamath Fitness, thank you, pal. I haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you're doing well. He says Alanga is very young, being used in a very good United team that's flourishing this season. What? Alanga is very young, being used in a very good United team that's flourishing this season. He should be doing much better in a team pushing for the title. Sarcasm, he says. I was going to say, should have read it through and seen the sarcasm at the end. Good stuff. Football aside, how's life, Mark? You doing okay? Says Little Nami. Yeah, it's bank holiday Monday in the UK today. So I was out on Saturday night and I was out last night. And I'm tired, but I'm very revitalised by this United side. So. I think that I hate all this negativity. We need some positivity, says Nigel. Yeah, I find myself in a. Look, you're always going to have people that don't like your content and what we do. But the funny thing is, at the moment, we've had. If you go back to the Solskjaer era, I was like Solskjaer out, and there was the Ollie loyalists who was saying, oh, look at Goldbridge, United stand, that community, they're just toxic, wanting Ollie out, he's a club legend. You fast forward to now, you've got positivity because we've got Ten Hag, positivity because of the team that's been picked, and they're all going, oh, look at all them lot, positive, when we should be, we should be doing this, should be doing that. All right, it's like, it's weird at the moment. I actually feel quite positive around United. I'm not blind to the fact that this job's huge, but very, very surprised and happy that they did get Ten Hag. Really happy with that team that he's picked tonight. I mean, for me, we couldn't have picked a better team. The people that shouldn't be playing aren't playing. All right, some of them might be injured, but actually he still could have picked. I mean, I've got to say, I think the non-selection of Rashford is absolutely one. There's not one part of me that would have picked Rashford tonight. If you watch that game against Chelsea, you'll know why. You can't put in a performance like that and then expect to play the next game. I don't care whether you're on 200 grand a week or, you've come through the youth setup. It doesn't matter. We need a cam and a CDM. Bruno is McFred of attack, says Pranshu. And I think we are a club. I think as a club, we have learnt and are listening. Proof will be in the pudding. Wreck-It Ralph is a legend, says Jake. The club have to listen. Are the club going to listen? I don't know. I think the transfer window is going to be enormous. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I don't know whether it's going to be fantastic. I think it will be incredible. I think there's going to be things that people are really excited about. There's going to be things that people disagree with. The main thing for me is that we come out of this transfer window, and at the end of it, when we're marking it out of 10, we're giving it 8 or 9. We're not going to do a 10 out of 10. It's impossible to do a 10 out of 10 transfer window at the moment, because 10 out of 10 would be removing 13 players and buying 8. But if we can get an 8 or 9 out of 10 transfer window going into what we need to do, and I would say we've got to sell or remove 10 and bring in 5. If we do that, I give it 9 out of 10. Obviously, I might drop it to 8 out of 10, depending on the players we bring in and who we sell. But what we can't look, honestly, we bought Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo last year. Some people wanted to say that was an 8 or 9 out of 10 window. I said it's a 6 or 7 because we didn't get a CDM. So it's a massive transfer window. There's no international tournament. There's no excuses. United need to hit the ground running when that transfer window opens up in June and just blast it. Absolutely blast it. Interesting thing is on departures, remember on departures, Matic, Mata, Pogba, Cavani, Lingard, they won't be announcing where they're going until early July because their contract runs till the end of June. There was a time when Rashford was undrinkable, regardless of performances. I think you mean undroppable, Emily. It feels like there has been a change. Well, Rangnick's brought that change, hasn't he? Ollie would play Rashford with a broken leg. Rangnick won't pick him even when he's fit. Stephen says, obviously Rangnick won't be remembered for his managing this season, but he could be the most consequential figure since Sir Alex Ferguson, says Stephen. Look, I know there are people out there that don't rate Rangnick, but I think that he has got that status already as somebody that is sort of symbolic of the change that is needed at the football club. How much he's involved in that, I don't know. I think certainly people like John Murtagh deserve some credit. Maybe Richard Arnold deserves some credit. We may never know. I think Ed Woodward was very good at trying to promote himself, but unfortunately there wasn't much to promote positive. But there is change at Manchester United, and I think how much change we endeavour to achieve over the summer is going to be really important. This may be Ronaldo's last game at Old Trafford, says Slippy. I don't think it will be. I really don't. Mark, if Leicester win conference, 6th is conference, not Europa. No, it's not, James. No, it's not. I like him. He's not afraid of making big decisions and hurting big heads, says Claire. James, I know you've done a super chat, so I have to read it, but like you just cause panic in the chat. Like, let me just tell you how this works, right? So if West Ham win the Europa League, they get a place in the Champions League, right? Because that's what you get. You get a trophy and you get a place in the Champions League. That doesn't mean Arsenal and Spurs don't get one for finishing 4th. You don't take it off the league requirement. It is a prize. There's your trophy. There's your qualification for the Champions League. It's already allocated. You don't take it from the club that they play in. Same thing works with the Conference League. You win the Conference League and you get a spot in the Europa League. You don't take it off one of the country that they're playing in. So it's a prize already there. So, yeah, 6th place is definitely Europa League. So don't worry about it. There you go. Lovely scenes. Well, I say lovely scenes. I don't know whether it's raining. It's hard for me to tell. I haven't got my glasses on. It's pissing it down outside Old Trafford. This is like a, if you're in Jamaica or San Diego or Magaluf, sunny days, this is the equivalent of it in Manchester. This is a typical day. It's cloudy and it's raining, and but look, it'd be interesting to see what the capacity, what the ground capacity is tonight, because Thursday night I think was difficult. I've said this before. United have got a lot of season ticket holders in Ireland, all around the country, and on a Thursday night after a week at work, do you want to be travelling to Manchester for a game against Chelsea when it's been such a bad season? We might get it again tonight. It's a bank holiday. A lot of travelling, work, school, everything tomorrow. A lot of people might not travel, and a lot of people might not pick up the spares. So be interesting to see. I think there'll be a few red seats tonight, a few empty seats, which is indicative of a bad season, really. We need how long? Okay. Right, we're just going to actually just talk about outside Old Trafford. She might be a bit wet, but she ain't Marty Pello. She ain't wet. We're going to get Beth on the screen and see what she's got to say ahead of the game. What's your thoughts on De Jong to United, says Crasby. I'll talk about that after we've spoken to Beth.
Hello everybody, it's Beth at the last home game of the season, Manchester United versus Brentford. I mean, the weather is amazing. It literally just sums up the entire season, and this is what we've got for the last home game of the 2021 season, which has been, points tallied now, it's inevitable, the worst Manchester United Premier League season of all time, just to start you off on a positive note. But we are against Brentford here. We have to win this game, in my opinion, because we want to secure Europa League football. We can't be in that Europa Conference League. We just cannot creep into that league. It's a waste of time. The Europa League, chance for a trophy, and you get to put players in them games that aren't always going to play Premier League football. I mean, we've discovered Rashford through the Europa League, we've discovered Greenwood through the Europa League. It's really important that if we can't make Champions League football, which we can't anymore, that happened yesterday, there's no chance of us getting in, that we make Europa League football, and to secure it at home and kind of end the season at a slight positive note would be perfect for Manchester United today. One change by Rangnick, and that is Juan Mata's come in for Rashford. Not a shock to me. I actually put Juan Mata in my starting 11 as well, because Brentford, it's not going to be a very high-paced game. Yes, they've got Ivan Toney and Mbeumo on the break, but Juan Mata in there can control the game, and that's what this game's lacked. It needs some control, and with the poor form that Rashford's been on, for me, anything's an improvement, and Mata showed that he actually put a bit of effort in last week. Yeah, he might not have the legs, you can sub him at 60 minutes, but he's going to give everything because it's his last home game of the season here, as well as Matic's. So a bit of a testimonial vibe, just like Manchester United does. But you know what, I'm going into this game positive. I think they have to win, because if they're planning to do the lap of honour at the end, they need that to be a positive note for the fans. The fans have had enough this season, and we need to end it on a positive note, and the fans need to see some effort in this last final game from the players. Yes, it's been a horrible season from start to finish. There's been bumps in the road, and the majority of the players have shown that they're not fit enough to wear the shirt, but it's the last home game now. We've got to try and get the win and secure it for the project next season. But I'll see you on the fan vlog, guys.
I tell you what, I thought she was going to get hit by a wave. We're careful of sharks. It really is wet out there. Bloody hell. Raining. Wet. Marty Pello. I thought he was going to start appearing in the background. But love is all around me. Rain is all around me. Anyway, look, I mean, I suppose that in a way, we want to play possession football. We have got, obviously, Mata in the team, and I think he will slow the game down and help us with possession. We obviously want to use Juan Mata. Does the rain make it better or worse? One thing I don't think... remind me to talk about De Jong, chat, by the way. I think you got it wrong. Actually, only 5th place is Europa, as FA Cup was won by a Champions League qualified team. The highest league position gets Europa. I tell you now, Eritro, you've just wasted a super chat. Don't question me. Don't question me on this. I'm bored of it, and I'm absolutely 100% right. 6th place is Europa League. Finito. Done. Dusted. It's over. Game over. 6th place is Europa League. Listen to me and believe it. Hope you're having a great day, Mark. Could you wish a happy Eid for all his Muslims celebrating today? Hope we have a good game tonight, says OG. Yeah, happy Eid to everybody who is... I mean, look, it's a big day for you, so I hope you're having a good day. And I hope if you are Manchester United fans, that they can deliver as well. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well. When is your next cooking video? And it was my birthday yesterday, so hopefully a win today will top off my birthday, says Anthony Wright. Happy birthday for yesterday. Yeah, I was going to talk about this. I will talk about De Jong in a minute. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. I did want to talk about this because obviously no Harry Maguire. It's not even been mentioned yet. And we're not going to mention it. But I actually quite like the Lindelof-Varane partnership. I liked it in January, and I've quite liked its progression over the last couple of games. No doubt, it's not been perfect. I don't think Varane was super against Arsenal. I think Lindelof made a mistake against Chelsea, but Arsenal and Chelsea are decent sides. Tonight, we're playing against Toney and Mbeumo. Now, they are very quick players who like to hit on the counter. I expect us to play a high line today, and I think this is going to be something really interesting that Ten Hag may well look at, because next season he's got to decide what he's going to do with his centre-backs. Now, we know Varane can play a high line. He spent most of his career doing it with Sergio Ramos. United tonight should be able to do that. Let's see. So, yeah, I'm happy for that. In relation to Frankie de Jong, a few people have spoken about that. I never felt it was possible. If you want Rice, I think that's impossible. I think De Jong is on a level above Declan Rice. So how you get one of the best holding midfielders for me in Europe on his day to come to Manchester United in the Europa League and also spend most of your budget on one player. We can't do that. Whether it's Kane, Rice, De Jong, we can't spend most of our budget on one player. Mark, with Bruno on the left, I think it will benefit Telles to help him defensively. Also, Elanga can track back to help the low great show. Look, I'm very excited by this. So if you're not aware, Rashford's been dropped. Lingard hasn't come into the team, which some people expected. I'm glad about that. when it comes to Lingard and Rashford this year, I'll never forget them coming on at the Etihad. We were in trouble. 2 Manchester lads. The game died. Same at the Emirates. 15 minutes to go, 3-1 down. The game died. They just haven't, for some reason, engaged in this Rangnick era. And I think they've lost a lot of trust from the fans because of it. So I wouldn't have trusted them tonight. We do need to win tonight. Rangnick wants to win tonight. And I think he's got to pick players he can trust. Now, whatever you think about Lingard or Rashford, it's not personal to the fans, but they don't want to play for Rangnick. It's very clear that they don't. They've not put anywhere near the level that we know they're capable of. So I think in relation to Rangnick and the team that he's picked, going with Mata, Elanga and Bruno with Ronaldo ahead, I think it's a good idea. What we need to do tonight is get Dalot and Telles forward, putting some crosses into the box. And he could easily have gone with Bruno as the 10, Elanga off the right and Rashford off the left. What he's done is he's put Bruno to the left, Mata centrally, and then played Elanga on the right. Because I don't think Mata's capable of going back and forward, back and forward, back and forward on the wing. So Bruno is basically dropped from the number 10 to move to the left-hand side. But hopefully Bruno will play that role with discipline. And he'll also get more... He'll get more freedom, I think, off the left-hand side, Bruno. So it'll be interesting to see how we do that. I like Rangnick, but he deserves some criticism for not dropping Maguire earlier, so Shaheen. I think that was, he says top 4 was very much possible. Look, the great thing about life and the great thing about football and the great thing about opinion is there is no definitive answer. And you're absolutely spot on. I think that Ralph Rangnick's been a breath of fresh air with his honesty, but let's not forget, he's also not got it completely right. I think that when you go back to the season, when you go back to Villa and Brentford, the last time we played Brentford, we're 2-0 up against Villa. He doesn't make subs. We end up with 2-2. We should have won that game. I thought we played well. A few days later, we played Brentford and we beat them. And if you remember rightly, he brought Maguire on with a few minutes to go, but he started Lindelof and Varane in both those games. Lindelof then had I think he had the burglary on the night of the Brentford game when he was playing and his wife and kid was in the house. So he took some time off, Lindelof, understandably. Maguire got the place. Lindelof came back and Lindelof never got his place back. So I disagreed with that at the time. I thought Lindelof and Varane were building a good partnership. I think it's a better partnership than Maguire and Lindelof or Maguire and Varane. And I disagreed with Rangnick on that. I did. But Harry Maguire is also an £80 million player and the captain of the club. And I think that was something that Rangnick valued because, as I've always said, Maguire's not been good this season, but Maguire's definitely not one of the toxic players against Rangnick. If you're against Rangnick, he won't pick you. It's very easy to see who Rangnick thinks is against him because he doesn't pick him. We've not seen certain players picked at all. I don't think Dean Henderson's been picked at all since Christmas, has he? Maybe in the FA Cup. Lingard's hardly been picked. Bay's hardly been picked. Rashford's hardly been picked. So, I think if Rangnick doesn't think a player's going to play for him, he won't pick him. And Maguire wasn't in that category. But I do agree with you that Maguire should have been dropped for Lindelof. Hey, Mark, 6th place is a shite place. That's a fact. Don't question me on it, says Kevin. I'm not going to disagree with you on that, Kevin. Welcome to the Members Club, trolls. And why are pundits so thick when they are indirectly saying Ralph shouldn't be a consultant at Manchester United due to the results? Don't they understand the bigger picture and his abilities, says Gorav. Well, who's saying it, Gorav? And then I'll have an opinion on it. Mark, what do you think of the Daily Express said we offered 42 million and Martial for Lautaro Martinez? Load of bollocks, Paul D. And hi, Mark. 8 Scandinavians starting today. I think Mata will work well with Elanga. Smartness will work well with Elanga's pace, says Chelsea. And I'm quite excited to see this United side. Look, we've lost to bloody Leicester. We've lost to Watford. It's not like anybody's terrified of losing. I mean, I don't want us to lose, but it's not like anyone thinks we're beyond losing. Super Nicholas says, what, Mark? Do you think that many fans will stay for the lap of appreciation? Well, I think this is a real... Look, I'm not here to dictate what you should and shouldn't do. But I tell you this, there's a lot of people very not happy about doing a lap of appreciation for the players, which is the tradition at the end of a season. Now, I'm sort of conflicted on this because, one, I'm not at the ground, so my opinion doesn't matter. And I will say that comfortably. My opinion does not matter on this because I'm not at the ground. People who are at the ground have the right to do what they want. And if they all walk out or they all stay, that is up to them. Simple as that. So I'm not going to say that that's not the case, first of all. But if I was at the ground and I wasn't doing this watch along, I would stay till the end. And the reason I would stay till the end is there is always a slim chance this could be Ronaldo's last game. And I want to be there to see him applauding the fans. But I do think he'll be here next season, but you never know. And then the second thing is, I think people like Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic deserve a proper send-off. They are retiring. They are leaving from the club at the end in the summer. And I also think people like David De Gea and Cristiano Ronaldo deserve appreciation because they have been brilliant this season. So those four straight away deserve a clap and some applause. And I think if the ground empties, it's a bit harsh on them. Having said that, it would strengthen the other side of it sends a very strong message to those players who've not been good enough. And maybe Ralf Rangnick deserves a bit of an applause as well. But would I be applauding some of the other players? No, I bloody wouldn't. I wouldn't at all. But to me, it just feels like the statement of not applauding some of these players. It's not all the players. Some of them don't deserve applause. Some of them do. And I do feel that people like Juan Mata and Matic who are leaving deserve something. Mark, I love your content, but if you just check the Premier League website for free, I just checked. The only fifth is Europa, please, Faith. Oh, I don't care where you've checked it. You're wrong. You're wrong. 6th place is Europa League. You know why they won't put it down as Europa League at the moment? Because the FA Cup's not been won. But Chelsea and Liverpool are already in the Champions League, so that Europa League spot becomes 6th place. That's how it works. So I think Carabao Cup is Conference League, FA Cup and 5th place is Europa League. So the season's not over. The FA Cup's not been played, so they won't put 6th place there, even though it inevitably is. So that's probably why it's not there. Tim Sherwood is literally going in on Ralph. Oh, mate, I ain't got no... Tim Sherwood's a prat. Tim Sherwood's a prat. He is. He's a prat. He's an absolute prat. He's been proven to be a prat. He's been talking arse for about 2 years, and I can't say anything. I can't say anything more than that. There's just so many things he's spoken about that is just completely wrong. He's just absolutely wrong. Is there any? That's why I asked for the pundit. I don't respect him as a pundit. Might be a really nice guy, but his opinions are shit. And people might say the same about me, and that's their opinion. My opinion is that his opinions are just not worth me. And I mean, I've already spent 10 seconds too long. Is there any player that can come back to haunt us if we sell them? Says Alan Noonan. Nah, I mean, God, any player can haunt you. I mean, we could sell Cavani. He could go to a team that's in the Europa League. We could play them in the final next May, and he could come off the bench and score a tap-in. It can come back to haunt you. I ain't bothered about stuff like that. Evening, Mark. Do you feel Ralph realised after 20, 30 minutes against Palace that these players can't execute his game plan? And Simon Jordan from TalkSport is wrong to blame Ralph for United's football form. Well, there's another one, Simon Jordan. He loves the sound of his own voice. And sometimes he gets it right and sometimes he gets it wrong. I think he wakes up in the morning and thinks I've got to say something controversial. And sometimes he gets it right and sometimes he gets it wrong. The thing I would always say is that, look, Simon Jordan used to own Crystal Palace, didn't he? I wouldn't go on a radio station and start telling Crystal Palace where it's going wrong. I'd just give my opinion on it. And I'd say, this is my opinion on Crystal Palace. But obviously the fans who watch the club every week and live, breathe and sleep Crystal Palace will know more than me. Well, I'll tell you what, Man United fans who live, breathe and sleep Man United will tell you in the majority that Ralph Rangnick's not the problem. So what Tim Sherwood or Simon Jordan or any other non-Man United person wants to say about our club, at the end of the day, you're wrong. You're wrong. And the majority speak on that. Ralph Rangnick has been a breath of fresh air. Nobody was going to come in and change this situation. Ralph Rangnick, as somebody said before, was thrown into a shit situation. I said it 4 months ago when we had the leaks coming out in January. Ralph Rangnick came to this club with brand new armbands. He was really excited. He'd got new Speedo trunks. He wanted to jump into the challenge of the Manchester United swimming pool and sort it all out. But when he dived in, he realised that that swimming pool was not water. It was liquid shit. And no matter what he did, he stunk because you couldn't change that situation. It was unchangeable. When you've got players that you're picking, I was having this chat on Saturday night, actually, at a barbecue. I said, you watch Rashford's performance against Chelsea on Thursday night. He won't track Reece James back. Every time he gets the ball, he loses it. That's not on the manager. What's the manager supposed to do when you tell them to go and do a job and you want them to express themselves and they put in a performance like that? How can that be about the manager? And what other option has he got? Well, tonight he's tried something different. But you have a player who's one of your star players and they've consistently underperformed for 5 months. That's, he's had a lot of bad luck. He wanted to keep Martial. Martial said, I've already had enough. It's not your fault. Greenwood gets arrested. Cavani injured. He's had a lot of bad luck as well. Is there any player that can come back? I've done that one. If good players like Bruno can decline under Ollie's coaching, then they can surely improve under Ten Hag. I think Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, Rashford, Elanga, Fred can massively improve under proper coaching. Interesting from Anne above. The other guy lied. Simon Jordan actually said anyone would fail with these players. He's been defending Ranić. There you go, William. As I said, sometimes he says some good stuff. Hi, Mark. The team and the players need to put in a good performance and win the match. And happy Eid to all, says Mohammed. Look, I don't normally, let's do a bit of a poll. I don't normally feel confident about this United side, but when that team news came out, I actually was like, you know what? I can get behind all those players in different ways. Look, I don't think McTominay played well on Thursday, and I think Bruno's been bad recently, but I can get behind them. I know that they have been bad, but I know that they give everything, and sometimes that's, unfortunately, giving everything isn't always a given in a United shirt. So I think this team is very relatable. As I said before, there's not that many players in this team that are, part of the team that people are unhappy with. So I feel behind the team and I'm looking forward to it. And of course, we've got a different bench today. We've got a different bench because we've got Cavani who can come on. It doesn't have to go for a Lingard or a Rashford or a Phil Jones or someone like that. He's got Garnacho there. If we're winning, he could bring Garnacho on. He's got Cavani on there. He's got Fred on there. So, look, I think he will try and get Lingard on because it's going to be his goodbye and he might want to give him that. But we have got other options there. And I think Juan Mata's a very exciting player to get picked today. Unfortunately, he's not a 19-year-old. He's 34 now, and it will be probably his last game at Old Trafford. But, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens in relation to the performance tonight. Because Brentford, we've not really spoke about Brentford a lot, but as you know, Brentford have won 3 of their last 4 games and drawn 1. They've beaten Chelsea, they drew with Spurs, they've beaten West Ham and Watford. They've taken 10 points from their last 4 games, one of which was a demolition of Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So, look, we've probably not given... Well, I did give Brentford a lot of credit in the preview, but we've not spoken them about them much tonight. But they do deserve a lot of credit, Brentford, and they are potentially a team that can come and get a result here. And of course, let's not forget, they were very, 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 very annoyed with the game. Thomas Frank, their manager, was very, very annoyed with the performance, with the results against them at Brentford back in January. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, we're only 100 away from 327,000. Top right-hand corner, let's change it to a 7. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. The United Stand, we're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. Also, watch-alongs, afternoon shows, the lot. And, of course, this summer's going to be so big. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, so you're getting the notifications at whatever time throughout the summer. It could be 11 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll be going live with all the big transfer news and stories, in and outs. United Stand, bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Fantastic community reacting to all the big United news and stories. And it will be a very big Manchester United summer, as I'm sure many of you are aware. Will it be a draw? Well, look, I don't think you can predict anything with this United side at the moment, but I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Manchester United. Whether I'm right or wrong, I feel that it's really important that we get Delo and Telles on the overlap. As I said, Brentford play with a back 5, so it's very important that Elanga and Bruno track their fullbacks back when they attack. But Brentford are not really a team that look to dominate possession. So I'll be very disappointed if we allow them to do that at Old Trafford, which is what happened with Chelsea. I want to see United on the ball. I think this is one of the big reasons that he's picked Juan Mata. And I think that also with Lindelof and Varane, I want to see a higher line. I want to see McTominay pushing on a little bit. Matic can sit, get those fullbacks bombing forward as well. Really important that we see that and get Juan Mata on the ball in the number 10 position. Let's keep the ball in a high position. Let's have a high press. Let's keep the ball up there and let's get our fullbacks forward and, try and use the possession. Try and have a game where we create a few chances. And of course, I think it's obvious, but probably needs mentioning. Cristiano Ronaldo's in the form of his life at the moment. He is ridiculously clinical. He's scored in his last 2 games. Obviously had a goal disallowed against Arsenal as well. I think Ronaldo, if he can provide some service into that box, he will deliver. So I'm hoping that we're going to get some goals tonight and some chances. I'm watching from New York. Hopefully Ronaldo will stay. Love your show, says Monkey. And why can't we spend big? 10 out, 5 in. Gotta spend, says Rob. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm expecting from Manchester United. What do you think of Beneka at AC Milan? Says Ray the Gamer. A lot of people mention him. I just don't get the indication that he's available. And we've certainly not been linked to him as of yet. So we can all, I mean, Sangaré at PSV gets mentioned a lot as well. I think Arsenal have probably been linked to him more than us, but there's a lot of people there. Form of his life, said Leon. Form of his, I get what you mean, but he's in good form. I get what you mean. I've over-egged the pudding a little bit there. Good afternoon, Mark. Thoughts on Ajax, CDM, Alvarez? I'm not interested, Christian, to be honest. There's 2 players I'd take from Ajax, Anthony and Timber. I think the rest, let's leave it. Let's not buy half the Ajax side. Looking forward to seeing how Bruno plays today, as he will leave a short outlet to Mata instead of aimless long balls, says James Allen. Well, look, I'm looking forward to seeing what Bruno does today. He's playing off the left, which means he's got to be disciplined. He might be able to do what Anthony does at Ajax, which Anthony is a left-footed right-hand player who curls them in towards Timber. Maybe Bruno can do that from the right-hand side. So you've got Bruno cutting in for a right-footed cross and Telles overlapping for a left-footed cross. Let's hope we can get some good ball into the box. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Ronaldo score a header today. What price of that? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. And also, Bruno has got a good link up with Mata. They do tend to link the ball up together better. So that would be quite interesting. But I'm generally excited about Manchester United tonight. I think that we could finish the season on a positive note at Old Trafford, deliver some excitement for the fans. And I certainly don't think people like Nemanja Matic or Juan Mata are going to let their standards drop. They are seasoned pros. And I think, unfortunately, but fortunately, most of our best performers this season have been over 30. David De Gea, Cristiano Ronaldo, and obviously Mata and Matic in the last game were probably 2 of our better players as well. The other guy clearly has listened to Jim White, Martin Keown, and Simon Jordan last show, and Simon Jordan didn't criticise Ralph. And if Simon Jordan didn't criticise Ralph, then I'm the Pope, says Jack Harmon. Just want to see the players show some fighting spirit, and I hope Garnacho gets at least 20 minutes, says Oscar. Well, look, I will mention that because we're 5 minutes away from the start of this game. In relation to Garnacho and whether he will start this game, so much of that depends on how we do in the first hour. I don't think Nemanja Matic or Juan Mata are capable of playing more than 70 minutes. So we want to be in a position against Brentford where we're maybe 2 or 3-0 up, and then you can get Garnacho on. So hopefully that will happen. Let's end the poll. So 66% of you are going with a United win, 16% are going with a draw, and 18% are going with a Brentford win. So strong belief behind Manchester United that we're going to win. Pinned at the top of the chat, you'll see the link to our members club. If you want to join and become a member, you get your badge next to your name in the chat that stays there all the time. You also get exclusive video content. And thank you very much for supporting the channel. If you are a member, if you want to become a member, click the join button. And as well, thank you very much for all the super chats. You can do that through the $sign. Thoughts on Atalanta Winger? Yeah, that's not a proper name, is it? I love your pants, says Omar. Yeah, I'm halfway there. I'm John Bon Jovi. I'm halfway there. I'm halfway to bed. That's what I am. I told you I'm tired, and putting the pajamas on is a psychological thing. It makes me feel more relaxed for the stream, which I'm looking forward to. So, Bruno's in the tunnel. Brentford are in the tunnel, and fans are in the ground. There will be a lot of red seats today, as I said. I think United season ticket holders, they've paid their price. They don't have to turn up if they don't want to. And I think there'll be a few that just can't be asked tonight, really. So we will see what it's like. And we'll also see in the 73rd minute whether people are going to leave. I tell you what, tactically, if I was Ralph Rangnick in the 72nd minute, I'd bring Garnacho on. I would. Mark, have you spoken about the Martinez-Martial interswap, says White. It was mentioned. I don't think Lautaro Martinez is coming to Manchester United. I think it's a load of shite, to be honest with you. It's written in the stars. Cavani and Lingard will come on for the last time. Well, I forgot about that. The A's, actually. I forgot about Cavani. Cavani coming on. I mean, look, how will Paul Pogba feel? He's not going to get his last game at Old Trafford, his last moment at Old Trafford. And remember, Paul Pogba was at this club as a 14-year-old. He then left Juventus. He came back. He's been here 6 years. Paul Pogba's last moment at Old Trafford was being booed as he walked off the pitch. Edison Cavani has basically left this club in January and he's coming back for a cameo now. He'll probably get applauded. Make it make sense. But that will happen. And people will say, well, he puts in more effort. Does he really put in more effort, does he? Right, okay, so he didn't play at all before the international break, goes to Uruguay, plays for them, comes back and is injured again. Yeah, he's really put in the effort for us, hasn't he? He's really gone that extra yard for us since Christmas. Let's be real about it. Cavani has been a joke, but it's not for me, though. Alex actually says he does put the effort in. Does he really, Alex? Where has he been since January then? Where has he been? If he's putting the effort in, where has he been? I can't believe people would defend Cavani on that. Look, if Cavani comes on and scores, I'm going to celebrate it because he's wearing a United shirt. But I don't think he's put the effort in. I think people like Ronaldo and Alanga and Sancho have had to carry the attack of this team week in, week out because too many players weren't fit and weren't ready. Cavani tries when he's on the pitch, but he's just not tried to be on the pitch, has he? This could be Ronaldo's last game at Old Trafford. I don't think it will be, Leo. I don't. But look, we might get a little glimpse of it at the end and see if it is, but I don't think it will be. I really don't. But look, Cavani's definitely leaving, isn't he, at the end of the day? So there's not really much of a debate about that. More focus on the team. Watch out for Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen's an interesting one today. Could be a player that's United. I was speaking about this a couple of weeks ago. I wouldn't be surprised. A little bird told me that Man United might be looking at bringing him to United. So, I mean, I say a little bird. It wasn't a real bird. It was a person. But, yeah, keep an eye on Eriksen. He's been a fantastic player for the Brentford team since he's gone there. And as I said, 10 points from their last 12 is pretty decent. They had a little bit of a drop-off in the middle of the season, Brentford, but since then they've been absolutely brilliant. So watch out for Eriksen. They've got two very mobile players up front, as we know, Tony as well. So we're about to start the match, waiting for the referee. Come on, ref. I don't think they've took the knee yet. Chances of getting Anthony ahead of Timber, says Farhan. We don't know. We don't know what Ten Hag wants. Does he want Timber? Yeah, they take the knee. And away we go. We're off. So Brentford kicking off, attacking the Stretford end. My God, one ball and they were in there. Giving the throw in as well. Just one long ball and they were in. What happens here with Man United's defence? It's just a long ball over the top. And it was Tellez who let him go and then got back, thank God. Bloody hell, it could have been 1-0 down. Eriksen just hits a long ball over our high line and Mbumo's through, isn't he? And Tellez gets back, but that would have been on Tellez, unfortunately. Again, he just fell asleep. Bruno is playing off the left-hand side. Hi, Mark. Just got married to the missus. Can you give a shout out to my new wife, Lucy? Hope we get a win tonight, says Tony United. Big shout out to Tony and Lucy. Well done. Congratulations. Let's hope we can get a win tonight. Fantastic news. Good news. Brentford on the attack again here, and it's a corner. They've started off very well. Excited to see what attitude the players bring today. I said 2-0 win, says Elijah. Yeah, it's not been the best start, Elijah. They've started on the front foot here, Brentford, and they've won another corner. United, a little bit of a slow start here. It's raining and we need to kick up the arse already. Brentford are going to be a decent team tonight. Going to be a long night, says Daniel. It was a corner from Eriksen. He never normally beats the first man. Ronaldo heads it away. And a shot from distance. You're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome on the United Stand. chucking it down with rain in Manchester. Mark, it's hard to see the greatest player of the Champions League to play and see him in the Europa League. United player are keen with Thursday night, says Nitro. Okay. So, goal kick to United. We've not really started yet, so I can't really tell you about any game plan or what we're trying to do because Brentford have just had 2 attacks in a row in the first 2 minutes. David De Gea's got a goal kick here. Up towards Ronaldo. Gets it wide to Bruno. That'll do. Just have the feeling Brentford are going to win 3-2, says Juan. Yeah, there could be goals here. Lovely play by Mata and Matic. Go on, McTominay, move it faster. That's good. Get it to Delo. Let's move. Nice little ball into Ronaldo. Touches it down. Oh, was he offside? What a ball by Delo. He did the hard bit. He can't believe it. Brilliant reverse pass by Delo. I think he might have been offside. Well, I just can't believe it. He slipped. What a ball by Delo. Ronaldo controls it with his chest, eye on the ball, and he slips at the last minute. I tell you what, that would have been a world-class assist by Delo. It would have been a legend of a goal by Ronaldo, and I think he might have been on. It would have gone to VAR. Calling it now, we win 4 of the next 10 Champions Leagues. Remember this, Mark, says Harris. Well, we're definitely not winning the next Champions League, that's for sure. So we'd have to win 4 out of 9. I think there's going to be a lot of mistakes. Oh, look at Matic there. Drag back. Doesn't get the foul, though. I think there'll be a lot of mistakes at the back tonight. They're down the left-hand side. Cut back. Get rid of it. Bruno's got it. Got to keep our shape here. It's about shape when we haven't got the ball. 2 + 2 = Matic, says Badham. But just have a feeling, yeah, okay. Calling it now, we win. I've done that one, haven't we, from Harris? He's having a good time. So 0-0 here, but lively start. Mbeumo for Brentford getting in behind. Telles tackled him, and then Ronaldo getting in behind and slipping at the vital moment after a lovely ball by Delo and Eriksen for the Brentford chance as well. Cross into the box, and De Gea has to put it out for a corner. Does well there. I think it was dropping in. Eye on the ball, eye on the prize. Cross comes in. I think it was one of those crosses. David Seaman will tell you. I think it was going to drop in, and De Gea just does enough. Yeah, it wasn't actually going to drop in, but he's done what he needed to do and palmed it out. It'll be a good game. It will be a good game. Brentford always give you a good game of football, so I don't think it'll be boring, this one. Only room for one Ronaldo. De Gea punches away. Only room for one Ronaldo masterclass, and it's not on the Old Trafford. It's on the snooker table, says Peter. Has he won it yet? Let us know. I don't know what's going on with the snooker. Well, Devils 58 Red says there's no point in playing McTominay, just ball watchers. I think McTominay's lucky to play tonight. His time on the ball is atrocious for a centre midfielder. He seems to go hiding. He doesn't get on the ball a lot. And look at him. He's doing it again now. Look at him hopping between the two bloody attackers. Find some space. Drop in. Watch McTominay. He just doesn't ever... Yeah, that's better. Come and get the ball. Better. Eriksen has still got the magic and looks incredibly sharp, says Bram. Well, a replacement for Mata of Eriksen on a free wouldn't be a bad idea. Well done, Ronaldo. Keeps the ball. Right, this is where we need to be patient here. This is where Mata will be wanting to get involved. Keep the possession. That's good from United. Just keep the ball here. Do you think De Gea would benefit by sweeping, says Slow Sports News? I like how high the line is as well. Look how high the line is here as well. We've got Lindelof and Varane. Nice ball into McTominay. Into Mata. This is good from United. Bit of possession in the final third. Well in, Matic. McTominay, go wide, go wide. Well done, well done. This is good. I like this from United. Keeping the ball. Keep a bit of possession. Sort of thing Man City does. You don't have to create a chance with every bloody attack. Well, you do. But what I mean is you don't have to try and create the chance in the first 5 seconds during the opposition's half. We've moved the ball around nicely here. Well done, Delo. He's done well here. This is good. This is good from United. Lovely. Mata. This is great from United. Get in the box, Ronaldo. Ronaldo. Oh, ref! He just barged him to the bloody floor. Alanga's going to get... Well, it's probably a shoulder barge, to be fair. That was good. That was good. And it's a shame in that situation. I don't know when anyone saw it. Ronaldo dropped off. And if he'd stayed in the box, we'd worked it really well. Really well. But Ronaldo dropped off. If he'd have been in the box here, that's not a penalty, that. Yeah, if Mata's going to leave, I think Eriksen would be an interesting player to bring in on a free. It doesn't necessarily mean he starts. Well done, Matic there. I'd rather go for Isco on a free this summer than Eriksen, says Joshua Bowater. Good call. Good call. But United are... this is going exactly how I thought it would go in the preview. United will get a lot of possession in this game, so Mata's really, really important. I don't think it was a penalty. Roy Keane, unofficial. United playing triangles. I'm crying tears of joy, says Abhishek. We're just more patient on the ball. Way more patient on the ball. Mata's loving it. We haven't seen this all season. Just confidence on the ball to not force the play. Alanga's in down the right-hand side. He will get there. What a goal! What a goal! Absolutely brilliant! Absolutely fantastic. What a period of play by United. This is what I mean. You get hold of the ball, you move it around, you wait for the opportunity. It's a lovely dinked ball into Alanga. He cuts it back and Bruno scores. It's absolutely fantastic. Don't be offside. Oh, no. I think he might be offside. I don't know. That was brilliant. What a goal. What a goal. Magnificent play. That was absolutely a joy to watch. It was brilliant. It does not deserve to be offside. For the last 3 or 4 minutes, we've just got the ball, been calm, just moved it around the pitch, one side to the other, probing back and forward, this, that, and the other. A lovely ball into Alanga. He cuts it back, and that's just brilliant. And he's onside. Get in, you bastard. Get in. Love it. I told you, I just feel something about these players. None of the wasters on the pitch. They're all putting in an effort. They're all playing the way Rangnick wants. There's an end goal. There's a rhythm. There's a concentration. There's a focus. Really good start from United here. It's a lovely team goal. Everybody's, even McTominay's getting on the ball, playing the right pass. What a goal. Get in. Loved it. Loved it. Do you think Ronaldo will stay on for another season and who should replace him if he leaves, says Anne. I think he will stay on for another season, but... we need to bring a striker in anyway. I just love that. I love it. And it's so, if you watch the preview on the United stand, we were talking about exactly this. Brentford will give us possession. We need to be patient in the possession, and that's why Mata should start. A lot of people are like, no, you can't play Mata. It should be Rashford. Do you think with Rashford on the team, we'd be knocking the ball around? Rashford and Bruno in the attack. We wouldn't be knocking the ball around. Mata makes the difference. Watch the overlap. Watch the overlap. Eriksen straight at De Gea. But yeah, I love that. I love it. Knocking the ball about. Somebody said there's no English players on the pitch. No comment. No comment. I'd happily have Sancho on the pitch, by the way. Mata and Matic start. We play the best all season. Mad what can happen when your wingers cross, says Mr. Matto. Ash G. And it's funny as well, because we were talking about Alanga before the game. And a lot of people were saying, I'm not sure about Alanga. And I was saying, look, I don't know. I don't know whether he's going to be the next Kieran Richardson, the next Luke Chadwick, or the next Ryan Giggs. We just don't know. He's not going to be the next Ryan Giggs, to be honest. But I don't know. But I tell you what, does he need to take on 4 or 5 players and put it in the top corner? Or does he just need to run down the wing and put a cross in like that? It was lovely pace and a lovely cross. Can't believe it's taken 9 years for Mata to get a game in these natural positions as fearless official. Do you think Rashford could have created that chance for Bruno? Also, why is Ronaldo on the wing more, says Nick Stevens. If I was Ronaldo, I'd play right on the shoulder. There was a cross that we worked to Tellez and Ronaldo had pulled off. And if he'd stayed in the box, I think he would have got it. Mad, what can happen when your wingers cross, says Mr. Matto. Was Ricky right all along about Mata and Matic? No, I don't think he was right all along, David, because I think, well, I don't know whether Ricky would admit it, but I'd certainly have the conversation with it. You can't be offside from a backward pass, people, says Elijah. No, Bruno wasn't the one who was offside. Everyone was thinking about Alanga. The thing about Matic and Mata is they can't play 2 games a week, 90 minutes. They can't. I'll be surprised if Mata plays 90 minutes tonight. But they should have been used more. And tonight was exactly the right night. Matic and Mata 100% deserve to start today. One thing I like about Mata so far is he's closer to the midfield. Bruno plays too high, says Dazo Bear. And a good CDM to replace Matic. Donny back in doing this Mata role in the middle with McTominay doing the donkey work. It's a really good balance, says Sean Turner. Mark, am I dreaming or are other players actually doing well? Well, there is a really interesting story that I think would develop over the summer. Just from this, even if we go on to lose this game 3 or 4-1, what we've seen in this first 15 minutes is that if you've got a number 10 whose focus is possession and keeping possession, you've got a very different number 10 to Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno Fernandes is not a player that is about keeping possession. He wants to make things happen quickly, whereas Mata wants to keep the ball moving. Now, Donny van der Beek's similar to that. I think Erik ten Hag would much rather a number 10 like Mata than a number 10 like Bruno that we've seen this season. So either Bruno's got to change his game and be more like Mata, or I think Ten Hag will change Bruno. Because possession has caused Brentford the problem here. And you think about Liverpool, you think about Man City. This is what Man City do to Brentford. They do it a lot better than what we're doing, but this is what Man City would do to Brentford. They'd have 70, 80% possession. And if they haven't got the ball, they can't do anything with it. And they'll look to hit on the break. Of course they will. But United, in possession of the ball, can't lose the game. It's as simple as that. In a generation with players like Fabregas, Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, David Silva, Xabi, Alonso, etc., Mata is part of that same generation that's been criminally underused by United, says Esquiel. Yeah, look, there's many a United fan that have never understood. When we bought Juan Mata, Bruno's just played a bad pass here. Brentford on the attack. Watch out. Cross comes in. It will go out for a goal kick. Lovely. When we bought Juan Mata, there was a lot of excitement. And we thought we were going to get this, because United never really played with a number 10. Think about it. United, back when we bought Mata, we didn't really play with a number 10. Rooney would drop off as an almost supplementary striker, but we didn't play with a number 10. And we thought, oh, United are going to develop with a number 10. And we didn't. We put him on the wing. Mata's a number 10. Swear Delo is playing like he isn't English. If you know, you know, says Leighton. It is very interesting, actually. I hadn't even noticed there's no English player on the pitch tonight. Now, some people seem to think that I think that the problem is the English players. I don't. There's a couple of the English players that I do like. But Ronaldo's just had a big shout there about the goal kick from David De Gea. The Hendo crew will love that. No, there's no English players in the United side. I couldn't give two shits about the Brentford players. I've got people telling me Tony's English. Why would I give a shit about Brentford? I'm talking about Man United. Jog on. Not interested in whether Tony's English. I've got no idea what nationality Brentford players are. What are your thoughts on United looking at bringing in Eriksen as a rotation option to replace Mata, says Will? Mate, I spoke about this about a week ago. I know United are considering it. There's a lot of clubs considering it, to be fair. I think Spurs want him back as well. So I think United might look at it. Ten Hag knows Eriksen, and Eriksen actually was training with Ajax at Christmas. So it is a possibility. But this has been a really, really good start from United, I've got to say. But I don't think that this United side is our best team. But it's, as we've learned this season, it's not about picking the best players if they don't work. I think Ranić is. I think this team's probably our best team right here, right now. There are players on the bench that are better than some of the starters, but they're working well together. Go on, Bruno. Go on, Alanga. Go on, Alanga. Oh, ref! He doesn't want to look at it. Was Alanga the last man? Did he take him down? Alanga's put his hand up. I mean, it didn't look clear-cut, but you've got to take a look at that, ref. What are your thoughts on United? Look at it. Yeah, I've done that one from Wilkins. Thank you very much for the super chats, by the way. 30,000 watching. Entertaining game so far from United. You don't say that very often. Let's get back hold of this ball again. Possession is the key. Dude, is it true that United have offered Pogba a lucrative contract? If he wants the same contract, then he has to stay in Manchester, says Slow Sports News. It's been on the offer since last summer, Slow Sports News. So you are Slow Sports News because there's been a £400,000 a week contract on offer to Pogba for over a year. And I don't know whether it's still there. Matic and Mata have played really well. I'd like to see McTominay push on a little bit, you know. But we've got Fred. Oh, what a ball by Matic there into Tellez. Needs a bit of help. Oh, Bruno's done well. He'll keep it in. And is he won a corner? No. Delo and Alanga seem to have a good understanding, says Salah. And most of the Brentford players are Danish, Swedish and German, with Tony being the English player, says Jack. Thank you very much there. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're only 50 away from 327,000. The Red Dragons says, what are your thoughts on Cavani leaving? Well, he left in January, to be honest. I think this is just a little bit of a cameo, isn't it? But look, I wish we'd had Cavani more. I think that was a foul on Alanga. I really do. I think the ref's got that wrong. Well done, McTominay. I wish we'd had Cavani more over the last couple of weeks, couple of months. You think about it, you know, we've had Ronaldo miss a couple of games because of injury. We've been so reliant on Sancho, Alanga and Cavani. We've had to use Rashford, even though he hasn't really deserved to play. So Cavani would have been really useful over the last while, but I don't know. It is what it is. We are where we are. Ronaldo to Bruno. Oh, there was a pass to Tellez there. He should have gone with it. Now Brentford come away. Work. He's got to be offside there. He's got to be offside. Good high line. Good line, high line. Tony offside. See how high the line is from United there. Lindelof and Varane playing very high. I was talking about this at the weekend, actually. If you've seen anything of Liverpool this year, you'd pick it up very, very quickly. But Newcastle at the weekend kept getting caught offside. Villarreal kept getting caught offside as well. And it's not by accident. Their high line is so well drilled. They step up collectively at the same time. They work it. And it's something I'd like to see United do because it kills so many attacks. Savage says, I'm impressed. Ronaldo with a little no-look flick there. But yeah, it's good to see Lindelof and Varane playing with that high line. I'll take it as a note for the match reaction, actually. McTominay, born in England, parents are Scottish, says CG, plays for Scotland, Scottish. Mark, do you think Luke Shaw should have more game time? Not at the moment, Aston. It would kill him. He's got, well, it wouldn't literally kill him, but it would really hurt his ankle because he's recovering from an ankle injury. But yeah, he's not fit at the moment. Well done, Lindelof. Well done, Matic. De Gea does well. It was a bit of a hospital pass by Matic, but he gets there. Will you be doing England versus Northern Ireland Women's Euros? It's Northern Ireland Women first ever tournament. It'll be amazing time. Can't wait, says Roger. I am going to be watching the women's tournament, actually. So I think it's in July, so we'll have to see. Cross comes in. Oh, probably should have scored there, Brentford. Their first big chance of the game. It's that man, Eriksson. What a cross. Puts it on the head of Tony. It's over Varane, and it should have been 1-1. Nothing you could have done about that, De Gea, if you'd have got it on target. Delightful cross by Eriksen. Good evening. I love the we playing so far. Rashford, happy Rashford's not starting. Just wish the midfield was Donny van der Beek, Matic and Mata. Ricky will be crying about this, says Nathaniel. And will you be doing... Yeah, I've done that one as well. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. Lovely play by Bruno into Ronaldo, into Alanga. He's going to be two. Oh, good defending. Good defending. Oh, he's giving it. It's got to be a red. It's got to be a red. It's got to be a red. He's the last man. He's got to be red. He's through on goal. Oh, he gets the ball as well. I mean, if he... I don't know. Let's have a look at this. How many English players Liverpool, Chelsea, City have in the squad? I think a couple of England players are fine, but majority of any nationality is not good, says Sarvis. Well, this is weird. This is a weird thing. He's given a foul, but he's the last man. I thought he got the ball, to be honest. Well, I haven't seen a replay of it. I couldn't see where the other Brentford players were. Anyway, look, I thought he got the ball, so I think it would have been a bit harsh. Ronaldo will probably hit this. It's a rainy day. I think he'll be trying to hit this. No yellow card. I haven't seen the replay. I was just focused on the defender and Alanga. I thought he got the ball anyway. Do you think... Anyway, look, we're enjoying this. We're having a good time at the moment. Do you think Garnacho will be a good talent, says the Red Dragons? I want to see more of him in the first team before I say that. Zoom, says Ozzy Montana. And, okay, I've done that one. Welcome to Members Club. Thank you for joining. Brian McDonald, legend. Thanks for supporting the channel. You'll get your little badge next to your name now. And someone else apart from Ronaldo scoring. Weird. Go Bruno. Where has this been since Ralph came in, says Andy and Bruno. And bit soft fixes the other one, though, so can't complain, says WH13. Right, Ronaldo should hit this. Yeah, he hit it. Bounced in front of the keeper. Keeper's done a good job. Can't believe people don't want Eriksen free, seeing the passes he does, says Nav. I think Eriksen for Mata would be a very good replacement. And I do think players like that are really worth their weight in gold. And I think the reason people don't want Eriksen is because they're thinking, I want something more glamorous. But I wouldn't mind an Eriksen bench option. You know, we're going to have Donny, Bruno. I wouldn't mind an Eriksen, to be honest with you, because look at what Matt has done tonight. Look at that. Bruno falls over. Why has it taken all season for us to play like this, says Jamie W? I think it's the personnel to do it, Jamie, to be honest. You know, you've got to be honest. I think you make a great point. It's very easy to sit here and say, why is it taken all season for us to play like this? But let's be honest. Who would have thought it's a good idea to play Matic and Mata in your spine? That wasn't the plan at the start of the season under Ollie, and nobody would have condoned it. The only reason it's the answer is because everyone else has let us down. That's why it's taken so long. Because to get to this point, we never should have got to this point. Like, how many players have let us down to end up with this being our best team? There's certain players that should be looking at themselves tonight going, look, I've not delivered. And obviously we've had a few injuries as well. Lovely play here by Alanga. This is great play. Ronaldo into the box. It's got to be a penalty. Oh, you're a fucking idiot, ref. What's your name? Ronaldo can't believe it. What's your name? Get out. It's lovely play by United as well. Alanga, McTominay, back to Mata. There's no reason for Ronaldo to go down. That ref's crap. Ref's rubbish. With a shaky pass there. That's a penalty for me. There's no such thing as a bit soft. It was brilliant play by United. Can you call my friend Chris a Pratt, says Dejam. And Brian McDonald, a member. This is a team, not individual brilliance, says Gore. Yeah. Yeah. Brentford with a corner here. I think it's a penalty. I do. I know people say it's a bit soft, but the play was fantastic. I think it was a penalty. Chris Cavani is the ref. What a prat. Set pieces may be interesting because Asia, Johnson, Sorensen are huge, not to mention Tony, says Jack. Well, we dealt with that one quite well. Oh, done here, United. Lovely triangles there between Bruno, Telles and Matic. Lovely from United. Just passing out from the back here. Mata. Oh, bad pass by Mata. Be careful. Well in, Matic. Dominant. The enforcer. He's given a foul on Alanga. We've been very confident on the ball. Remember, it's raining as well. Am I watching United? Maintain possession. Crisp passing movement off the ball. Hunting packs. I'm enjoying this, says Sean Finity. Hi, Mark. We can't reply on your Twitter, says Lars. Oh, shit. Sorry. You're a legend. Thank you. Next time I'm tweeting, I will have a look. In fact, I might be able to generate a tweet now. Nice ball out wide to Bruno. Go on, keep working. Keep working, lad. Right, got one. %70 possession after half an hour. Not often we've been able to say that this season. Welcome to Members Club, the Red Dragons. Thank you very much. And could you call my brother Toby a prat? He loves your videos, says Jacob. There you go, Toby. Apparently you're a prat. From your brother Jacob. Keep up the great work, says Ruben. Thank you. Just going to be a little bit careful. Brentford are a good side. They're on the attack here down the left-hand side. Cross comes in. Well done. Blocked by Delo. We're good for this 1-0 lead. 70% possession. And look, you know what? Let's not forget, Brentford will fancy their chances here. It's not, I mean, it's a midfield with Matic and McTominay in it and Juan Mata. I mean, that's not a midfield that's going to win you the Premier League. It's not a midfield that's probably going to get you top 4, but it's doing well. Up we go. Well up. Well up. Now Bruno. Nice ball into Mata. It's all about the possession. And again, we're off here. Oh, unlucky, but Telles keeps it in. Mata does well. Lovely play by United into Ronaldo. I like it. Here's Ronaldo. Waits for Delo. He's going into the box. Delo, it's not a great cross that, but Bruno will go for it. Does reasonably well. Ronaldo, edge of the box. McTominay. Bruno. Ronaldo needs to get in the box. He drops off the box too much for me. This cross is coming in. Oh, unlucky. I don't like how we're passing it around our box, says Sealing. Oh, I do like it. I like the way we're knocking it about. I do. I like it. I like what we're doing in this game. Okay, thank you very much for the super chat. It's so much, you know what? It's so much more entertaining when you have possession. Like, if you think of the Ollie days, the results were good. But we never kept the ball. We never did. It was always soak up pressure, hit on the break. It was 100. It was moments. Whereas this performance against a decent Brentford side, you feel more proud of the 1-0 because you actually have had 70% possession. We played the better football. There's nothing quite like watching your team knock the ball about in the final third, probing. And it's been good. 2+2. Is Matic. Brilliant recent performances by him, says Ben. Ronaldo's playing like a man on a mission, says Varian. It's a fascinating game for Ten Hag, this. Here's what these players are capable of with a few adjustments and the right personnel in certain positions, says Nick P. Well, yeah, I mean, look, there's 2 players out on that pitch who are playing really well. He won't be here next season. Where has this United been teams all season, says Slow Sports News? And disgraceful and disgusting, we've waited all season to play as a team. Is it because it's the last time playing with Ronaldo, says Treble Champ? I think it's the personnel. If somebody was asked to ask me, who wasn't a United fan, why is it taking all season for you to play like that? Is it because at the end of the season? It's not. It's the personnel. There's a lot of players that aren't playing, that have played most of this season. Lovely play between Ronaldo and Mata. Oh, if that goes in, it's a great goal. Ronaldo to Mata, brilliant play. Smile on the face football, lovely to see. Mata and Ronaldo with smiles on their face. When was the last time you saw that? Love it. Absolutely love it. Now you know how City fans feel, says TB. Well, City are on a different level to us. You praised Thomas Frank the other day. Makes me proud as a Dane. Think he can take the next step up, or is this his level, says Christian. Oh, look, I think Brentford are a good side. That's why I'm very impressed with us tonight. We're not playing... as I said, Brentford have taken 10 points from their last 12 with this team. They beat Chelsea 4-1. They drew with Spurs, who were going for top 4. They beat West Ham. They beat Watford, who were fighting for relegation. They're a good side, Brentford, and this game's not over. Not by a long way. When we see football like this, it shows we're not as far away as people think from being a very good team, says Dan Watson. A number 10 doesn't need to be super fast if a team plays possession-based football, says Sharath Kamat Fitness, as long as the players around him are fast. Yeah. And I like the way, how many flicks this game, says Charlie Griffiths. I mean, how many passes this game as well. Nice by De Gea there. That was under pressure. He just flicks it out to Varane. Defence has kept a good line in this game as well, which has allowed us to play pressure as well. You know, you don't need a fast number 10 if you're getting him up the pitch with a high line as well. It's a good point. But no, I mean, look, why are United playing like this? Well, Mata's not played most of the season. Matic hasn't played most of the season. Certainly not under Ollie, they didn't. Telles and Delo haven't played most of the season. Lindelof and Varane haven't been the centre-back pairing for most of the season. Bruno's not played off the left. Or, you know, I think a lot of people think that Bruno off the wide isn't a bad idea. So it's the personnel, isn't it? That's not the centre-back pairing we've used. We haven't used these full-backs much. We haven't used Matic in the midfield much. We haven't used Mata at number 10 much. We've stuck with players that have consistently underperformed. Wan-Bissaka's underperformed. Maguire's underperformed. Rashford's underperformed. Bruno's underperformed as a number 10 as well. So there's 4 players there that have underperformed for most of the season, and they're not playing tonight. I know Bruno is playing, but he's not playing as the number 10. So that's the difference tonight. We've got four players in key positions that aren't the players that have underperformed. That's the change. Thoughts on Bruno off the left, room for another number 10, Kieran Byrne? I think Bruno off the right could work as well. McTominay, once again, ghosting through the game. If reports are true, Ten Hag chooses him as a core player. We'll waste another season, says Sakin. And with Maguire, this high line would be impossible, says Iram. I don't think we move the ball around this well as well. I mean, look, I don't think Fred is a bad player, but I don't think we can move the ball around with Fred and McTominay like we can with Matic and McTominay. Or Matic and Fred. Interesting that non-English players recognise what it means to play for United than the English players, says Mock. I think it's been a very good performance all round. Thank you. I told you. The thing is, though, we discussed this against Arsenal. We lost 3-1 to Arsenal, and I said I saw something in that team that made me want to, for that 90 minutes against Arsenal, I was really engaged in the game. The same against Chelsea, even though we were up against it. So... And again tonight, 3 games in a row, this team, for whatever reason, has had me engaged. Do you think Bruno has been advised to focus on ball retention? He's going to have to, Aish. If he's going to play for Ten Hag, he's going to have to be better on the ball. Telles with the cross, straight into the keeper's hands. 10 minutes to go to half-time. In form, Rashi is way better than Alanga. Well, Amir, he's not been in form for 2 years, mate. Good breakaway for Brentford here. They've got a 4v4. Stand him up, Telles. Stand him up. Doesn't stand him up. He's crap defensively, Telles. He is crap defensively. Shot into the side netting. David De Gea was never really troubled. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome on the United Stand. Huge summer ahead. Hopefully, if we get these 3 points tonight, it basically confirms Europa League football for United in 6th place. Wolves and West Ham would find it very difficult to catch us. Yeah. Well, Jordy just said to me there, if these fans walk out in the 73rd minute, it'll be a shame because these players have put in the best performance we've seen all season. Give them some credit. Mata to Matic. Lovely ball into Ronaldo. He's on his own. He'll get a corner, though. He'll get a corner. Thanks, everyone who's tuning in, by the way. It's been a... Look, we've still got 2 games to go after this. It's been a very interesting season for Manchester United, of course. But I'm thoroughly enjoying this. You know, if it's too positive for you, I'm sorry. But I think that this has been the best game I've seen us play at Old Trafford all season. Corner to the edge of the box. Much prefer your commentary to Gary Neville, Mark. Is he doing it tonight? He'll be negative. The minutes seem fast when we have possession, says N. Mohammed. Thoughts on a review board that can give out suspensions if sufficient evidence of simulation diving? Bruno would be out for the rest of the season, says Robinson Crusoe. And we have all forgotten about Pellistri. I've heard he's doing well on his loan, says Caleb. I haven't took any notice of Pellistri's loan for a long time, Caleb, but I'd heard that he wasn't doing very well, not getting much game time at Alaves. I think these players we see are the ones who listen to Ralph and know what it means to play for United. Just an opinion, says David. Well, that opinion would be correct. These are the players that Ranić can trust, which is what he's decided to go with. For those saying it's only Brentford, it's not who you play, it's how you play. And this has been good from United, says Sean Finity. Well, for those saying it's only Brentford, they've took 10 points from their last 4 games. They've beaten Chelsea. They've drawn with Spurs. They've beaten West Ham. Like, Brentford are a decent side. Mark, United always had more fans abroad than UK. Do you think that is the reason why foreign players understand it more to play for a huge club like United, says Sade? No, I don't think that's it. And I don't really want to delve into it too deep. I mentioned it in a show a few weeks ago that I think some of our English players come to United, get paid lots of money and think they're better than they are. But, why don't foreign players do that? Memphis Depay may have done that. So, it's not exclusive. But I do think we've collected a bunch of English players that aren't good enough for Man United. Some are. I think Shaw's a decent player. I think Sancho's a very decent player. But a lot of them, I just don't think they're good enough. Corner from Brentford. Well up by McTominay. Corner. Do you think this is a template for next season with the new signings replacing the journeymen, says Des? Yeah, look, you drop a new signing into Matic's position, you drop a new signing into Mata's position. I do think there's potential there. This is how your midfield can play when they have confidence in the centre-back pairing behind them, says Treble Champ. Our board reminds me of the Ford leadership on Ford versus Ferrari. To them, it's more about marketing and costs rather than results, says Joe Alexander. Well, another corner for Brentford here. All around the keeper, 3 big lads. He's going to put it on the keeper here. Eriksson. We've got to be careful. We've got to be very careful. Eriksson, cross. Don't know what that was. Goal kick. We'll take that. Your last home game on the United Stand, Mark, says West AK. Apart from Solihull, who's your second team, says Slow Sports News. Well, I don't think Solihull are my second team anyway. I'd love to see them get promoted because they're the team that's most local to me. I think they're 4th or 3rd in the National League at the moment. But I don't really support. I like my second team is football. I like to watch football. That's why I do that's football. I watch a lot of football. Tomorrow night I'll be doing the Conference League. Look at these 2 United fans on their phones. Oh, that's a bad look. That is a bad look. That's a bad look, isn't it? Best performance of the season, and you sat there on your phone. Fans' expectations for next season. Fair play for getting a bit of coverage, unless they're playing. They might be playing Tetris or something. Fans' expectations for next season should be an improved style of play and good, consistent results, says Tamba. Yeah, but you know what? Style of play is really important. I'm going to take a note of that. Style of play is really important because people say, would you rather have a good style of play and finish 5th, or would you rather have a bad style of play and finish 4th? Well, maybe that is possible, but the reality is most of the time, if you've got a good style of play, you'll get good results. Follow up by Langer. We did this to Villa for 30 minutes in January with 8 of the same starting 11, exact same back 5, not a coincidence, says Thomason. That's my favourite. I think that's one of my favourite performances of the season was Villa away as well. These English players will be playing by a much higher level if Sir Alex Ferguson was manager them. Hello from New Jersey in America, says Cinnamonson. Mark, what's this all you're leaving about? A wind-up, says Nick. Can't tell you for a few more weeks yet, mate. Hello, Mark. Can't tell you, Rahul, for a few more weeks. 3 weeks on Friday. I've heard that Fulham have won the championship, Sean, yes. Lovely play by Bruno. Mata should get there. He's not the quickest, but he can put a cross into Ronaldo. What a goal! Get in! Bloody love it. Put a smile on your face. Get your red dress on. Sue's in the house and she's ready for fun. Get in! 2-0 to Manchester United. Fantastic play. Bruno to Mata to Ronaldo. Spin that wheel. Brilliant performance from Manchester United. Don't anybody walk out. Don't anybody walk out. What a goal. Magnificent. What a goal. He's got to be onside. Oh, he might be off. He might be off. Let's just wait and see. A lovely finish by Ronaldo. It's 2-0. I'm just looking at VAR. I think he might be offside. The fact that they're checking it. He's off, isn't he? Oh, fuck off. He's offside. Bollocks. Bollocks. It's a shame. It's such a shame. Ricky was right all along about Mata. Wow. It's so unlucky that. So unlucky that. Lovely finish by Ronaldo. Lovely play by Mata. To be honest, it's Ronaldo's fault. He's just got ahead of the ball. It's not Mata. Ronaldo's got ahead of the ball. Shame. 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 Robert, thank you very much for the super chat. If it's offside, it's offside. What can you do? But it was a lovely goal. Lovely play. Bruno into Mata. And we deserve to be 2-0 up as well. Just before half time here. We deserve to be 2-0 up. And we're not. We're 1-0 up. We're on the attack again here. Can we get another shot in here before half time? It's been. I mean, look, it's hard to put a gauge on this because it's been. We've not played like this all season. I mean, one of the things I just wanted to check here is that we've had 71% possession at half time. That's pretty good for United. So look, I think the refs blown up for half time there. Look, it's been a terrible season for Manchester United Football Club. I'm not here for standing up and going, wow, that's amazing. I'm standing up because I need a stretch. But it was. It's not surprised me. It hasn't surprised me. I said in the preview Mata needed to play. I said in the preview we would get possession. And I said in the preview that I think we'd win 2-0. And all of those things at the moment would look like being spot on. apart from the fact that goal's just been disallowed, and apart from the fact that I didn't think they'd be able to do it as well as that. 71% possession at half time against a good Brentford side that are playing at Old Trafford for the first time in many years and are playing a vulnerable Man United side and on a run of 10 points from their last 4 games. They'll be coming to this game confident, and we've just got hold of the ball. And you can't play like that if you play Marcus Rashford. You can't play like that if you play Harry Maguire. You can't play like that if you play Fred and McTominay. Now, I like Rashford. He's had a bad season. I like Fred. I'll tell you why he couldn't play it in a minute. And Maguire, look, at his best, he's a decent player, but he can't play that high line. And he can't move the ball that quickly. Maguire is definitely a player that when he gets the ball, he looks at what's going on and then he'll pass it 30 yards or whatever. But Lindelof and Varane, they're moving the ball very, very quickly. They're playing a high line and they're moving the ball quickly. And that's providing Brentford with issues because the ball's coming into people like Matic and Dalot and Telles and McTominay a lot quicker. And they're a lot higher. So they're turning and they're getting it into Mata a lot quicker, who then the fullbacks push forward. And suddenly United have got options. And what United are not looking to do is when they get the ball, they're not looking to try and create a chance in the first 5 seconds of possession. They'll keep it for 20, 30 passes if they need to. So that's why the possession's so high. We're moving the ball quicker. People are getting more space for it, and we're more confident with the ball. Now, if we were playing Rashford off the left, Elanga off the right, Bruno at 10, Ronaldo, McTominay and Fred and McTominay can't move the ball like Matic does. And Bruno can't run the game as a number 10 like Mata does. But Rashford can't keep the ball like Bruno does. So suddenly you've got Bruno who, as a number 10, moves the ball too quickly. You've got Rashford who doesn't move the ball at all. You've got Fred and McTominay who aren't confident on the ball. So the reason we've ran this game a lot better is you've got Lindelof and Varane playing a high line and then moving the ball quickly, which allows the fullbacks to push forward. You've got Mata, who's like a magnet, running the game. You've got Bruno off the left, who's also retaining the possession. And then you've got Matic running the game with McTominay. So the possession is better because of Matic, Mata, and Bruno shifting to the left and the centre-backs playing high up the pitch. And it's worked really well, really, really well. And we deserve to be 2-0 up, but we'll have to just take one for now and see if we can get the second goal. A lot of people will be saying, why is this? Why is this? Well, it's simply because Rangnick's landed on this formation and this team because everybody else has let him down. From injuries to underperformance, we all know the names, and he's landed with this team, which is not dissimilar to the team that played against Aston Villa in January, which for me was one of our best away performances. But that, to me, apart from the half an hour against Palace in Rangnick's first game, that's the best football we've played all season. Did you ever wish we could have kept Gomez, says Robert? Not really. Fearless Offend says, would you say it's reactionary to give Mata a 1-year contract extension? Says Fearless Offend. I don't know. Jerry O'Connor, welcome to Members Club. Some of the play between Ronaldo and Mata has been a joy to watch, says Stephen. Oldies tonight putting on a show. Also, Dalot needs to improve on his crossing, says Ethan. I think we need to improve at fullback in general. Can we give the Matic contract on offer to Pogba? Says Michael Neal. Dalot's crossing has been terrible, says Louis Human. Personally, I think Mata and Matic have been brilliant, but I'd let them go. We were talking about it during the game, and you know, maybe you let Mata go and you bring Eriksen in. But what it does show is we need more players. Somebody made a great comment in the first half. They said, Mata and Matic go, you replace them with players who are better than them. And what I mean by better is, you know, maybe in the mid-20s, early 20s. The difference Mata and Matic have made to that team is huge. I wouldn't be looking to keep lads who are 30. Well, Matic isn't going to stay anyway, is he? Who's this young lad, Juan Mata? He's class marks, as Gaz. But it's the type. We don't need to rush to give Juan Mata a new contract. Let him go. But what we do need is we need players like Juan Mata. And there's plenty of players like that. His ability on the ball, his ability to slow the game down. Look, would Mata work today against a team like Man City, who play a high line and pressers on the edge of our box? Mata would become redundant. But against a team like Brentford, who will allow you to get possession, we can play the high line. So in a game like this, Mata's brilliant. Mark, instead of buying expensive players, why not buy cheap, up-and-coming players from the Championship like Spence, Cantwell? And you're not going to catch me out with that, Philly. I'm not that thick. I don't know about Cantwell. I think Spence is a good player. Please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. Thank you very much. I don't know whether we shouted him out or read. Jerry O'Connor, I think we did. Thanks for becoming a member, mate. Would you take Eriksen next season? Well, we're playing Eriksen. I would take Eriksen as a replacement for Mata. I don't know whether I'd start Eriksen, but I'd certainly take him as an option to replace Mata that, you know, becomes part of the squad as on a free. I think it makes no... It's a no-brainer, isn't it, really? But McTominay is a good player, but he needs to develop into a more attacking player, says James. I don't think McTominay's been bad tonight. I think McTominay needs to get on the ball more, be more confident on the ball. I mean, for me, he's never a starter. Never a starter in a team that you want to do well. But as a squad player, I think he's quite good. But I said it during the game, and I'd say it again. McTominay and Fred, in that game, we don't play like that. We don't play like that. We can't play like that with McTominay and Fred. The reason we're playing like this is because Matic is brilliant on the ball. You can play Matic and Fred, or you can play Matic and McTominay, but you can't play McTominay and Fred and play like this, because neither McTominay and Fred can run a game like Matic can. And that's why United were so poor in our build-up play under Solskjaer. And for a lot of this season under Ranić, is that McTominay and Fred will run and run and run, but they can't run a game, and Matic can run a game. So Matic and McTominay will work, Matic and Fred will work, but Fred and McTominay will never run the game in that way, because Matic is such an intelligent player. You know, not only does he break up the play and take the ball off the back four, he knows what to do with the ball as well. Only similar players to Mata would be Donny, says I'm Just Lee. One of Joni Mourinho's underrated traits is his one of Juan Mata's underrated traits is his movement, dragging opponents out of position to open up space, as Sharath Math Fitness. Yeah, and also what I would say is the future of Bruno Fernandes, he should be analysing this game and going, what's my future at Manchester United? Because he's scored a goal. And maybe Bruno goes, look, I've scored a goal. I've delivered. Sit down, haters. I don't care whether Bruno scores a hat-trick tonight. I would still be looking at that and going, I've been the number 10 at this club for 2 years. Somebody's just put in the best number 10 performance of the season, and it ain't me. Juan Mata's first half is the best number 10 performance I've seen this season at Old Trafford in a United shirt. Hasn't scored a goal, hasn't got an assist, but he's ran the game. And that's what I want a number 10 to do that. I want him to dictate the pace of the game. I want him to run the game. And he should have had an assist, to be fair, if Ronaldo just timed his run a little bit better. Bruno's got to look at Mata and go, can I slow my game down? Because the reason Bruno's not had a good game this season as a number 10 is because he's always 100%, 100 miles an hour trying to play the ball. The wonder of that half from United is the possession. Mata's gone, okay, I'm not giving the ball away. I'll give it back to Matic. Give it me back. Okay, I'm going to go wide. Give it me back. I'm going to go forward. Give me back. Right, there's the pass. You know, or as Sharath Math Fitness says, all right, I'm going to move out of this space to create a run for somebody else. This is what Mata's game's all about. Bruno's not about that. Bruno's about, I've got the ball. Where's the Hollywood pass? Where's the Hollywood pass? We've lost possession. We've lost possession. We've lost possession. So Bruno Fernandes needs to watch this game tonight, tomorrow, or some point this week and go, shit. Because that's what Ten Hag wants. Ten Hag wants what Mata did. Ten Hag wants a number 10 who keeps the possession high up the pitch. 70% possession is what Ten Hag will want from United. We're not very good at that. We have been good at it tonight. We can't do 70% possession with Bruno as a number 10 this season because he gives the ball away or he tries the Hollywood pass and it's gone. 70% possession happens when you have a lot of the ball. So Bruno's got to look at Mata and go, right, I'm going to slow my game down a little bit and I'm going to focus on, you know, retention of the ball and until the pass is really on, which might be not what he wants to do because he likes taking risks. He said that before. Or he's going to find himself potentially drifting to the right or left and you bring a player in like a Donny or an Eriksen to play that number 10 with him. Because Bruno works well with Mata. He always has worked well with Mata. They're on the same wavelength. Mata's just better at keeping the ball. Seems to be a surprise that good players are good on the ball and can pass, says Clive Roberts. The players having confidence to play down both wings makes us less predictable and more dynamic. Ronaldo shifting the defence around by moving in and out. Tactical assist coming, says Brian McDonald. Smiles on the face as well, Brian. Lots of smiles on the face. Hi, Mark. How are you? I'm watching Atalanta versus Salentina. My brother-in-law named Remo Frula is the captain of Atalanta Bergamo. Do you know him? Says Red Star Belgrade. No. And would you look at Tyler Adams, CDM from Leipzig for 20 million? Everybody, Devon, everyone seems to be talking about Leipzig players. Lamar, Hadara, Gavardiel. Mark, Ricky's having a field day today with his players, but it's a good game so far. Love it. I hope this is what it came to yet next year. Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see what subs we see in the second half. Why couldn't Matic and Mata be 8 years younger, says Silu. Imagine if we'd used Mata as a number 10 from day one. Would be great. Would be great. Would be really great. I just need to see if I can get a message from somebody here. Yeah, I'll mention that in a minute. Okay. Oh, God, I can't type. Okay. Mark, which player would you say is equivalent to Mata and Matic? Someone you'd love to have at Manchester United, says Troy Swords. I mean, I think Mata is look, if you remember Mata at Chelsea back in 2012, 2011, he was absolutely fantastic, and he's a very unique player that we just never got the best out of. Mark, which player? So yeah, I think that's difficult to say in the modern game. Bernardo Silva's a little bit like him, but I think he's a little bit more mobile. David Silva as well was like him. Tyrone, thank you very much for the super chat. Welcome to Members Club, Jack Harmon. And got to be careful what you wish for with Bruno. This is reminding me a lot of Rooney when people were moaning about him being too aggressive and it ruined him. I want Hollywood past Bruno, says Sean Turner. Maybe the future with Bruno is to stick him out on the right and have a number 10. Sancho off the left, Bruno off the right. Maybe that's the solution. I don't know. Maybe Sancho off the right, Bruno off the left. I mean, you don't have to have this out-and-out sprinting wing player. But although, give Elanga his credit, that's how we ended up scoring, wasn't it? So, look, Ten Hag's going to come in and want possession like we've seen in that first half there. How he achieves that is going to be very interesting. I'm just going to put a tweet out here that I think will do quite well if you want to check it out, at Mark Goldbridge. How many years has Matt for the last? He's been here for the last 9 years. Yeah, he's been here 9 years, Matt, hasn't he? 2013. Or was it 2014? No, we won the title in 2013 and we signed him in the January of 2014. Must be right. Yeah. Drotty said to me there, would Pogba be better in that position than Mata tonight? I mean, funnily enough, Pogba is a player, I think, that is capable of doing that role. But I think Mata's such a distinctive player in the way. Pogba, for me, is a player who likes to take a touch on the ball, do a little bit of skill, little flicks and stuff like that. Mata will run onto the ball and hit it first time as a first touch. I think Mata's very distinctive. I wouldn't want to take anything away from his performance. Which sub should come on for Mata and Matic, says James? Well, that's the fear. Donny at 10, Bruno out wide, says Joey. Van der Beek would be perfect, said a few people there. 4 fouls, not a very physical game. I could see problems against more physical teams, which is probably why Mata and Matic couldn't play more, says South Holland. Oh, yeah, you can't play Mata. Mata and Matic could not play every week for a start. That's the end of the conversation. What do you think about Maddison? I know he's an English and undoubtedly overpriced, but his Leicester's mediocre season could have been a bit off his transfer fee. I just don't want to buy English. I mean, I'm not anti-English. I'm English myself, but I think we've spent a lot of money, and Leicester would want a lot of money as well. If you're offering me Maddison, maybe it would work, but I'd rather go and get someone from Benfica. I mean, just to not spend a lot of money on somebody who's English. The pressure of that as well. Got to be careful what you wish for. I've done that one as well. And hey, Mark, can you explain to me why people think Ten Hag wouldn't want Ronaldo? Currently, he has Haller at striker. Hey, Akil, I don't think there's a manager in world football coming to Manchester United that wouldn't want Cristiano Ronaldo. So, yeah. Dara Kelly says, what does Gary Barlow think about that half? He thinks it's absolutely incredible, absolutely fantastic, brilliant, absolutely magic. As good as Wembley. Probably not my best, Gary Barlow. But Fred equals Xavi, says Louis. Not so sure about that. Players coming out for the second half. Look, is that our best performance at Old Trafford this season? Is that the best 45 minutes we've seen from United at Old Trafford this season? I'm struggling to think of one. I think the first half an hour against Crystal Palace under Ranić was good. That Newcastle game where we smashed them, I don't think we actually played that well. We were okay. I'm struggling to think of a performance at Old Trafford that's been that good. And when you couple it with 70% possession and the way we've knocked the ball about. Replace Mata with Dybala, says Kartik. And could Weghorst work as a number 9 for United next season, says Ross. I tell you what, Ross and everybody in the chat, please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 328,000 now. Leeds game. Oh, yeah, I mean, everyone plays well against Leeds. Leeds under Bielsa. You always do. But I tell you what, I would be embarrassed. I mean, who's on the bench? If I'm Cavani, I'd be embarrassed because I haven't played much anyway. But if I'm Rashford and I'm Lingard, I'm trying to think who else is on the bench that could be embarrassed. I mean, a few of them are injured at the moment, to be fair. But I'd be embarrassed. You know, they've not been able to get into this team. Ronaldo's not happy about something. Hi, Mark. What do you think about getting Kamara and Eriksen on a free to replace Mata and Matic? No, not yet. Well, we're not in for either at the moment, Val, but things could change. Bruno's quality, mate. He'll be fine under Ten Hag. We're off for the second half. And his coaches, team has bigger issues than Bruno. Oh, Andy and Bruno, I agree. Bruno's not an issue. I'm just saying that he will have to adapt his game for sure. Mark, what do you think Ricky will be sat there saying right now? Shane Dunn, he'll just be like, I'm telling you now, Mata. I've been saying for years, Mata. Mata should be playing right back. He can play left back. He's brilliant. But I think that, look, I said in the preview I would have picked Mata. I'm not surprised by Mata's performance tonight. We're almost scraping the barrel, aren't we, really? We've had so many bad performances. You've got to give people who are leaving in the summer, who are, you know, approaching their mid-30s game time because everyone else has been terrible. Lovely ball into Alanga and he slips over. It's a shame. It was a lovely ball by Bruno, that. So we started off the second half here. Look, Brentford are a good team. It's only 1-0. Is it possible to have Roy Keane as a sideline scarecrow next season with Ten Hag? If I was a player, I know I'll be on my best for the whole game, says Akil. We just need a manager that does that. Why doesn't United ever buy players on loans, says Harley? I think it's hard to get people on loan when you're a big club like United, really. When do Man City get players on loan? When do Chelsea get players on loan? I mean, I know they did it with Sal Niguez, but look how that went. Mark, I hate this thought, but what if this is Ronaldo's last 45 minutes, says JM Jones? I don't think it will be. Never say never. I don't know. I don't think it will be. Why doesn't United ever? Yeah, I've done that one from Haley. Harley. Okay, so second half's up and running. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let's see if we can keep the possession going in this game. I'd love to see us keep that possession up at 70%. It probably will change in the second half. You know, it's very rare that you can keep it up that long, but we will see. I'll tell you what, though, there'll be a lot of United fans watching this through gritted teeth. How many of those haters will be there going, hating this? You know, they've spent most of their season moaning and, making their name off bloody moan. They won't be liking this. They won't be liking the fact that for anyone who's been watching United since the Arsenal game, you can see a change in the team. It's actually growing together, this team. This back four is becoming stronger and stronger. They actually are. And, you know, if you do want Manchester United to win and you do want Manchester United to be good, you can see that things are changing. I can see that things are changing. These 11 players may not be the best 11 players in the world, and they're certainly not a team that's going to go and finish fourth next year. But towards the end of the season, you can see that they are teams, that they are players that are working for each other. And some United fans won't like that because they just want to moan. And I disagree. I think we're... look at that for Christian Eriksen. Chances created, everything. Playing number one. You can find positivity. We've got a new manager coming into the club, and the season's been a disgrace. But the season, for me, the new era could be starting tonight. Starts tonight. You don't have to wait for the summer for the season to start. You know, well, you do, but you don't have to wait for the summer for the new era to start. And some of these players have shown a mentality that others can learn from. I'd like to get the second goal, though, because I agree. Somebody was saying, what substitutions do you see happening? I think Cavani will probably come on. I think he might bring Alanga on. Delo's done very well here. Into Ronaldo. Back into Delo. Oh, is it the Demba? Oh, lovely play between Delo and Ronaldo, and he hits the bar. Lovely play between the two. You love De Gea, but he ain't Alisson. It was Alisson versus Castle. He was everywhere. We need a goalie like him, says Ames. Yeah, let's talk about David De Gea. Absolutely no context at all. Not anywhere near our biggest problem. So I'm not talking about it. Why is everyone so worried about individual players? We need to do what's best for the club, says Nate. Players would have never had the power they have now under Sir Alex Ferguson. Bex, Rude, Keane all shown the road when they thought they were bigger than United, says MOC. We need to just get the second goal here, and then I think we can make some changes. McTominay seems to be slipping a lot. I mean, Fred could come on for Matic, couldn't he? That's the obvious one. But whilst we'd get a little bit more energy with Fred, we might give up a little bit of... let's go out for a goal kick. Control on the ball. So I think Fred for Matic is an obvious one. Mata, you could put Bruno back in at number 10 and potentially put Cavani off the left if you wanted to. You don't need to bring Rashford on. You might want to bring Lingard on for Mata. Again, I think we'd lose control by doing. Look at that ball by Mata. Magnificent. Magnificent. Mata and Ronaldo, the link-up play. So good. So good. In my opinion, United could buy up to 7 players if Ten Hag identifies talents which are cheap. My example in mind is Carvalho to Liverpool for 5 million, says Gog. And read today that if Foxes win conference and Hammers don't win the Europa week, we'd get conference from 6th too. Need to push for 5th. Nikhil, we get Europa for 6th anyway. Dear, oh dear. Forget what Leicester do and forget what West Ham do. 6th place is Europa Cup anyway. Because Chelsea or Liverpool will win the FA Cup and they're both finishing in the top 4. My only concern in this is that it's only 1-0 and Brentford are a team that's capable of scoring a goal. Only takes one chance, and we've defended really well. We deserve to be 2-0 up, and then I think we'll be home and hosed. Good play. That's it. Just keep the ball. Keep the ball. That's it. Nice, nice, nice. Nice, nice, baby. Nice ball into Tellez. Mark, can you call my friend Nick a clown? Says John. Birthday gift. What a gift. Diego says, why didn't Mata play more? That's not a question for this season, mate. That's the question for the last 8 years. Why didn't we just put Juan Mata as a number 10? Here we go. Bruno, you've got to score this. Number 2. Oh, fuck off, Bruno. You've got to score that, mate. Puts it wide. Never connected with it well. Lovely ball by Matic. He knows he should score. He's played him through. The timing of the run's brilliant. He's onside. Lovely ball by Matic. First touch isn't terrible. He's got to score that. He's got to at least get it on target. We deserve to be 2-0 up here. We've been far the better side. Far the better side. We've dominated a very good Brentford side tonight. With possession and movement to the ball and clever little movement from players, opening up gaps. Just want to get that second goal. Nikhil says, I read it on the Athletic, Mark. I'm not being a prat. You are a prat, Nikhil. You're a prat because you're about the 4th person tonight to talk about 6th place not getting Europa League. And I'm telling you now, save your energy because it does. What's been the worst this season? The players or the tactics, says Ross. Yellow card here. I don't know who got it. Matic. Yeah, pulls Ericsson back. Definitely a yellow card. The tactics under Solskjaer were grim. Let's be honest. Counter-attack FC, boring, crap tactics. No one wants to see that. But I think far worse than the tactics has been the downing of the tools by the players. Has been horrendous, absolutely horrendous. Watch out in the second half, by the way. 73 minutes. Apparently, some fans are going to walk out. I mean, I don't know where you stand on that, or sit, I suppose, or walk. Personally, I think if you're in the ground, it's got nothing to do with us. We're not in the ground. It's up to them what they do. They're paying fans. They can do what they want. If they want to do it, I respect it for what that means. I do respect it because they've got a right to protest. I personally just think that the performance has been so good from the players that it would be a little bit unfair on this lot because they've actually gelled as a team and worked hard as a team. Eriksen with the free kick straight at De Gea, who just palms it away. And on top of that, I do think that people like Ronaldo and De Gea deserve credit for this season, and also I think Mata and Matic deserve an applause on their way out of this football club as well. So it's difficult, isn't it? The reason they're doing it in the 73rd minute, Mac, is because 17 minutes off 90 is 73, and obviously it's 17 years of the Glazers. Mata and Matic like chip and chat between. By the way, show your feet, says a Drac. Yeah, I'm not into foot fetishes, and I'm not showing you my feet. So, yeah, we'll see what happens on the 73rd minute. I mean, a good idea would be to just make a substitution on the 72nd minute and bring Garnacho on. I mean, if he brings Ronaldo on the 72nd minute, then Rangnick's definitely Glazers out. Brings Rashford on, sorry. Apologise if you already spoke on it. Just finished work. Is there any truth to the Interswap and offer? What's your opinion on it? Love content, says Sean Genie. So there's a story going around. Wait a minute. Brentford are on the attack. Cross comes in. It's a decent one. Lindelof, well done. Well done, Lindelof. I think Lindelof and Varane have been really good tonight. From now on. Yeah, so there was a story, I think it was in the Express or something, that someone sent it to me, that United are interested in swapping Martial for Lautaro Martinez from Inter and some money. I mean, look, is there anything in it at the moment? No. Is it just pure speculation bullshit? Yes. Does it mean it can't happen? I mean, I don't think it will happen, but sometimes you can, never say never. What's United doing here? De Gea with his feet. Good shot by Brentford. I don't want to jinx Lindelof and Varane because I've just done a tweet on it. It's a lovely cross. Well done. Lovely play by Delo. Nice and calm. Nice and calm. So it was in the Times. I've been told it's a load of bollocks. Lautaro Martinez is looking for a move, basically. I don't think Lautaro Martinez is the sort of striker we need. We need a replacement for Ronaldo when Ronaldo doesn't play. And Lautaro Martinez isn't a player who plays as an out-and-out number 9 for me. So I don't think that would make a lot of sense as the replacement for Ronaldo. But look, you never say never. Maguire's playing well at home on his PlayStation, says James. Ronaldo on the attack here, gets it wide to Delo. Come back to Mata. That's the ball. Who's your man of the match so far, says James? I mean, look, I used to love giving Carrick man of the match when he ran the game as a number 6. I think for me, it would be Matic or Mata. They've ran the game. Ronaldo's pissed off with Bruno there. He didn't play the ball. Why 73rd minutes, Anton? Because 17 minus 90 minus 17 is 73. 17 years of the Glazers. So they have been walking in 17 minutes late to the game. They're now going to leave 17 minutes before. To be fair, it might be a bit controversial, but the way he's playing, I'd sign Eriksen on a 3-year deal. What's the age of Eriksen, Gamer Tom? Yeah, so it's 30. I would take that deal. Got to be a little bit careful here. I'd probably be warming Fred up a bit. I think we're starting to get a little bit leggy. Why not put prime Mata stats, get a set of similar player, says Shaz. So it's 30, Eriksen. Mata's 34. Get 3 or 4 years out of him. We've got some young players like Mabry and Garnacho. Can learn off a player like that. So, got to be careful of Brentford here. They're doing all right. Having a bit of play. Don't jump in, Tellez. Stand him up. Well done, McTominay. Now just, oh, what's that pass, Scott? That's shit. We're inviting a bit of pressure here. That's it. Get it out. Well done, Mata. Well done, Ronaldo. Go wide, go wide. Lovely ball by Matic. See, under pressure there, and we just we play. Oh, lovely play by United here, getting themselves out of trouble. Had we hired Conte, do you think we'd be top 4, says Max? Yeah, I think we would have been. Lovely ball into Ronaldo down the wing. He's done well. Strong. Look at the cutback. Look at the cutback. Penalty. Yes. Get in. Get in. That's a penalty. Super fly. It's a penalty to United. And it's Ronaldo who wins it. And I tell you what, nobody's going to do this, but I'm going to say this. Here's some punditry for you. That starts from pressure in our own box. That starts from pressure in our own box, where I think Ronaldo lays it back to McTominay and we just passed it out the whole way. It starts from pressure in our box. We'd never do that. It's a stonewall penalty, by the way. Ronaldo's got to take this. Serious question here, Mark. Is Delo the greatest right back since Cafu? Well, it's not a serious question. As a moving planet, if Liverpool win the quadruple, says MUFC Devil. Look, that goal, that penalty is brilliant. The way we go from back to front, and it is Ronaldo on the penalty in front of the Stretford end. Love that. For God's sake, don't let Bruno take it, says James. Well, it is Ronaldo. We missed our last penalty. This to put it to bed, hopefully. Lindelof and Varane play so much better when they don't have to cover for Maguire, says Leon. Well, it's all about the penalty here. We've deserved it. Fantastic play from back to front. Ronaldo, shoo! Get in! 2-0. Justified. Justified. Get the Hartleys out. Justified. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Totally deserved. Elite performance from Manchester United. We haven't said that much this season, but it's been a brilliant team performance from back to front. Possession, play, that penalty. Look, penalties are there to be scored, but the play from back to front to create the penalty was absolutely brilliant. It was superb. Brilliant. It's a shame he didn't get the goal in the first half, but look, this has been the most enjoyment I've had watching Manchester United all year. Really, really good football, exciting moments, and we're 2-0 up after an hour. Really good. Really good. You can only be happy with it. I'm not going to applaud it because it's been... I don't know what Ronaldo was on about there. I thought he was having a bit of an argument with somebody. But yeah, 18th goal of the season for him as well. 3 in 3 games. 24 in total for the season. In a team like that, that's not bad. That's not bad. Sue's come out to play. I'll tell you what, let's get a clean sheet now because in our United Stand predictor table, I'm top. And not by many points, but I am top. A lot of people went with 2-1. I went with 2-0. Ronaldo's 3rd best goal-scoring season for United. So, you know, he's the problem, apparently. Go on, Alanga, play the simple pass. Look at that by Mata again. That's it. Keep it nice and simple. Bruno's gone more central now as well. They're interchanging a little bit, which ain't a bad idea. But did you see what Ronaldo just did? He pointed at his heart and then pointed to Old Trafford surfaces to say, I'm staying. Good. Good. I want him to stay, Daniel White. G'day, Mark. Can you please call my mate Luke a twat and wish him a happy 20th birthday, Sue, says Jonathan. I don't normally call people twats. Prats, Jonathan, but, you know. The genius knows I did my own quick research about the Europa League spots, and you're correct. Why is everyone making confusing comments? Google is my friend, says the game. I know the genius knows. I know. 6th place is the Europa League. 100% confirmed. Nothing can change it. Unless Chelsea win the FA Cup and don't finish in the top 4. I mean, let's just have a quick look here. 67% possession second half. So it has dropped a little bit, but... still very, very good. Lovely ball out to Ronaldo. I mean, you know, Ajax sometimes have 73% possession. What a run by Ronaldo here. He won't get a penalty for that. Matic. Caught on the edge of the box. He'll be thinking about some subs in a minute. But look, we've got a player rating show where we'll be giving out 7s and 8s maybe today, which would be great. I've just tweeted there. Why haven't we played like this all season? Because a lot of players who've played most of the season aren't playing tonight. Simple as that. Now, whether that's down to team selections, whatever. Mark, if Russia okay, I'm not reading that, Jacob. I wonder if Bruno's problem is similar to Pogba's. He needs a Mata or a second creative player to stop him being marked out of the game and make attacking runs, says Andre O'Brien. Might be something in that. And I think Ronaldo will stay. He might get Champions League elsewhere, but there's not much bigger a fairy tale ending than bringing United back where he's loved, says Mark's favourite. And it's not a young team. It's not a fast team, but it's a team with a footballing IQ, says Gold Dish. I really want us to get the clean sheet here because I think the defence, what is Tellez doing there? Good block by Varane. Don't piss about at the back. He puts his hand up. That's all right. He said sorry. See how happy we are from a good performance, says Gaz. In 8 minutes, are people going to walk out? Justice for Richie, says Marky. Unless a sub comes on and does very, very poor, this could be the first United game this season where all players are a 6 or above, says Lucas. Yeah, well, we'll have the player ratings for you, which we'll do in the match reaction in a bit. Could be a happy fan forum as well. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. So corner to Brentford here. There's still time for Brentford to get back into the game, of course. We've worked hard, but they're good in the air. Well away by McTominay. There's a foul in the box there because Tellez is down. And the referee's going to call... No, it's Ronaldo's down. Mark, why are you happy like a kid at Christmas? Arsenal will finish above you and will win the league before you, says S. Quinlan. Calm down, it's Brentford, mate. Why are you an Arsenal fan spending money on a United channel? Is that not the definition of being salty and obsessed? It's just, I don't think there's a foul there. Well, it is a foul, but I don't think there's anything deliberate on Ronaldo. It does catch him in the face, but nothing's going to come from it, I don't think. I don't know. I don't think so. But that's why I said he should get in contact with him. Lovely play by Bruno into Mata. Good tackle. Brentford pushing here. They're having a go. Mark, I'm at the game, and people are saying they're not going to leave, says Aston Walker. Well done, Aston, if you've got a bit of reception. They're in here. Brentford are pushing here. We might get a good end to this game. Back post, Tellez, get rid of it. Wants the penalty. Brentford wants a penalty. VAR might review it. Varane clears it. Ronaldo's form has been as good as ever the last few weeks. He's been brilliant the last 3 games. Communication looks more positive at the back with no Maguire. Seeing De Gea, Varane, Lindelof supporting each other and giving high fives, says Kill. Yeah, I don't think that penalty... Oh, come on, Alanga. That's a bad place to give it away. Look at Matic there. Lovely ball. Lovely ball out by Delo into Bruno as well. Simple pass, Bruno. That's it. Ronaldo's been playing for the Belgian team from the whistle today. My man of the match has been in. Yeah, he's got his goal. He deserved it as well. There's been so many good performances from United so far. Look, I think Tellez and Delo are limited players, but they certainly offer us more than Shaw and Wan-Bissaka have done this season, and there's nobody else we can play. McTominay again. I mean, look, I think today's been good. He was terrible against Chelsea, but I think today's been good. Matic has been superb. Ronaldo's done his job. Alanga's, based on Alanga today, I don't know what he's going to be. He's done some bad things. He's done some really good things, but he certainly understands the system and he certainly puts the work in. And you'd pick Alanga every day of the week over Rashford because he does put the work in. I think Rashford's a better talent than Alanga, but what's talent if you haven't got the application? Our set-piece defending has massively improved. We just need to improve scoring from set pieces, says Clinton. Mark, for the first time in ages, I couldn't go in the match and we end up playing well. It's bloody sod's law. Well, yeah, I definitely think this is the best 90 minutes we've seen from United in a very long time. Whether it's the best one of the season, I don't know. But it has been brilliant from Manchester United tonight. And we haven't said that enough. Taken to the last game at Old Trafford for us to put in a performance of that. And we are approaching we need to realise it will be social media FC with posts about the win for today. We have away games to win, so the good performance must continue, says Thomas. You know what? I don't even mind. That's not a handball on Tellez. His hand's in a natural position. He's jumped already. His hand's down. I don't think that's a handball. Be very harsh. Yeah, I mean, I don't even mind if they do some. If Fred's coming on for Matic, that's the end of Matic. That's sad. Last game at Old Trafford. Makes me feel sad that. Gets a few hugs. It is sad. Genuinely feel sad because I shouldn't feel sad that Matic is going. It's the right time. I think he maybe should have gone a year ago, but he's actually delivered. He's been so good the last few games, and he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed a lot of players that are younger than him and supposedly care more about the club than him. And he's been. You know what? I'm going to give Matic an applause. We've had a bit of an up and a down time. I didn't agree with the deal. There was times I thought he was a bag of cement, but then there's been times he's been brilliant through his career. I remember that before COVID, him and Fred were brilliant. I remember after COVID, he was brilliant with Bruno and Pogba. It was him, Herrera and Pogba when Mourinho got sacked as well. So he's had good times, he's had bad times, but I think with Matic, one thing he's always given is efforts and confidence. And it's not always worked, but he's always given that. And in a season where people haven't always given that, he deserves a lot of credit. And also, Arsenal-Chelsea in tonight, when we really needed it. Yes! Who scored that? Varane! Get in! 3-0. Manchester United. Raphael Varane from a corner. Varane. Get in. Love it. Absolutely love it. 3-0. 72nd minute. Are people going to get up and walk out? I dare you. I dare you. They probably will. 3-0 Varane. Love to see it. Manchester United. Is that his first goal? I think it's his first goal for United as well. Good movement on the corner, on the volley, a little bit of deflection. Goalkeeper can't do anything about it. And Brentford, the team that are such a threat from corners, we've scored the corner. Centre-backs have been brilliant tonight. Brilliant. Centre-backs have been brilliant. They've allowed us to play high up. They've moved the ball really intelligently. And smile on the face. Get some smilers on the face. Get some smile on the face of the fans, of the players. Let's build in the summer. Let's keep this team as much as of it that we can, and let's add to it. United playing well when Fletcher is not on the touchline. It's not on him. It's not on him. Walkout on 73. Glazers out. Well, how many are going to go? It's Brentford, Mark. Calm down. Yeah, Glenn. Brentford smashed Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Drew with Spurs last week. Taken 10 points from their last 12. Yeah, it's only Brentford. We got smashed by Watford, mate. We'll take it. It's like people just want to moan, don't they? Like, we've been smashed by Watford this season. We've been absolutely dominated by most teams. I don't think we've hardly won any midfield battles this season. And we played really, really well. And people are like, it's only Brentford. It's Manchester United. Manchester United. Well, there's a bit of a protest coming up. Phil Jones is coming on. That'll make people walk out. That's not a good idea. But Phil Jones and Cavani coming on. So they come on. Maguire could do that with a blindfold on, says BJ. And Rishkesh, thank you very much for the super chat. Mata's coming off as well. He knows it's goodbye. Ronaldo gives him a hug. Another one. My man of the match tonight. Done a great job. Rangnick gives him a hug as well. Oh, it's emotional. Probably our best performance of the season at Old Trafford. Cavani comes on. And when Mata and Matic, goodbye. I think it's goodbye for Phil Jones as well, isn't it? I don't know who Phil Jones has come on for. Feels like the start of something. Hopefully it's the start of something. It's the end of something for people like Matic and Mata. But I'm at the game and it's hectic, says Aston Walker. I don't know where he's getting this reception from. Thanks everyone who's tuned in tonight as well. It's been one of the more enjoyable streams this season. A lot of farewells tonight. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're in the 75th minute. There's still a lot of fans in the ground, so I'm sure some people have left. I can see a few red seats, but there's still a lot of people still here. I suppose it's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, on these sort of things, I try not to get involved because everybody's got their own individual choice. And, you know, by saying you should do this, you discriminate against the people who don't want to do that. And by saying you shouldn't do it, you then discriminate against the people who do it. So I think in a democratic way, it's up to the fans what they do and don't do. And if some people want to walk out, they want to walk out. If some people want to stay, they want to stay. But I think that, you know, we've got a new manager. We've got a team tonight that's shown what playing for Man United's all about. Chelsea as well, hard work. And I think that the proof will be in the summer, really, how much we back this manager, how the players perform. And sad to see them go. Feels like a new restart, says Ethan. Yeah, look, some people will go that you don't want to go. Some people will stay that you want to go. Hope this isn't your farewell home United match, says Matthew Den. Hey, it's not about me, mate. This is about, you know, people like Juan Mata and Matic and the start of something new. Which reminds me, actually, I'm going to get the player ratings. 67% possession at the moment for Manchester United. 3-0. We've had 6 shots. They've actually had more shots than us. 4 shots on target each. So we've been very clinical. We've not created as many chances as I think we should have done then, really. But still a very, very good performance from Manchester United. And I think it will be a pleasure to talk about the player ratings and also, you know, some hard, blunt discussion about why it's taken to the last game of the season to put in a performance like this. Is it because Brentford are on the beach? I don't necessarily think that that's the reason. I've got to be honest. I think it's United have shown over the last 3 games, even though we lost to Arsenal, I think we've seen something different. I definitely think a lot of it's to do with no Maguire. And I know that people won't like that, but it's not a hate thing. It's a football thing. I definitely think tonight's couldn't happen with Rashford in the team. I don't think tonight could have happened with Bruno at number 10. So, Mark, considering Rashford's bad form, would you rather sell Rashi, put him on loan or keep him? I think he must be given a chance, Heb, next season. But, you know, it's embarrassing for someone like Marcus Rashford to be on the bench, an unused sub in a game like this. It's embarrassing for a Manchester lad to put himself in that position, and he's got to look at himself. There's a lot of players that need to look at themselves. Some of them will look in the mirror, someone will look at the exit door and leave. He will want to be here next season, and he's got to look at why he's not contributed to Manchester United's season or contributed in such a poor way. But I really hope we get the clean sheet now, because I think we've defended as well as we've attacked at times. And good to see Fred coming back as well. Of course, Cavani's on the pitch. I don't know who Phil Jones came on for. I'm trying to see. Cavani came on for Elanga. Fred came on for Matic. I didn't see who the third substitution was. Phil Jones. I think it might have been Tellez. Yeah, Phil Jones is playing. Or was it for Bruno? I don't know. Maybe Tellez is still on. Are we playing with the left back? No, we're not playing with the left back. So Tellez has come off. It was Tellez. But you know what? I think some people came into this game and they were like, oh, I don't know. I don't know whether I like it. I don't know whether I'm up for this one. And ultimately, it's delivered really, really good. What a great way to end the bank holiday weekend. Take a bit of positivity. And, you know, points win prizes. Maybe a few signings look at the club now and they go, well, Eric Ten Hag's coming in and look at the performance of the team. Lovely play by McTominay. This should be 4. Gives it to Ronaldo. Back to McTominay, late off. Oh, he gets the shot off himself. Unlucky lad. Unlucky lad. He done all right there, did Scott. Scooby-Doo. We'd love to see a goal for Scooby-Doo. We would. 10 minutes to go. 3-0 to United. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome on the channel, as ever. Remember, we're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock with the news show. We will be talking about that Lautaro Martinez story in the morning, actually. I think it's worth delving into that a little bit deeper. I'll make a call or two, see what I can find out. I don't think Brentford have played that bad. I think they've applied themselves. I certainly don't think they've come up and been passive. And I don't think they'll like coming to Old Trafford and being beat 3-0. I mean, it's a comprehensive loss. I mean, they had a very good chance in the first minute, to be fair. It was Tellez who let the runner go and then worked hard to get back. But yeah, I don't think they've done too bad, Brentford. I think we've just been better. United fans are chanting Glazers out. Last game at Old Trafford and no Rashford. Strong signal. How Riola passing will change. Pogba, De Ligt or Gravenbach, says Thomas. And we'll be live at 10 a.m. next season, says Clay. And United Stand will be, yeah. Mark, does the girl still work for the United Stand? Who's the girl, Jamie? Alanga for Cavani and Mata for Jones, I think, Mark, says Greg. Oh, it's Mata. No, Mata was for... Yeah, you're right. It was Mata for Jones, wasn't it? Yeah, we pulled Bruno into the middle and went to a back 5. You're absolutely spot on. Well done, Greg. Amazing what happens when you don't have a fridge at the back. Leadership qualities and an arrogant winger who doesn't run. Let's go United, says Sean O'Rourke. Been a great team performance tonight. I just hope we use next season as a springboard for better things, says Andrew. And I'm willing to give Rashford a chance back to Tony goals. That means he has something, but he must come roaring back, says Ray Carl Brown Amore. Brentford on the attack here. Cross comes in. It'll be another corner. Yeah, we can't make another sub, which is a shame because I'd like to see Garnacho coming on. Alanga's got a work ethic. Excited for him under Eric Ten Hag. So shut your face. Well, it'd be interesting to see what happens with Alanga because he's McTominay's caught one in the face there. I don't know. I think it might have been accidental, but it'd be interesting to see what happens with Alanga over the summer because obviously he's got. He's got development as well. You know, he's young enough to keep growing. We saw that with Rashford, didn't we? We saw Rashford fill out one summer. Goldbridge, will you be making contact next season? Lucas, you're asking the wrong questions that won't get answered, and I'm not getting involved in that. We're watching Manchester United, and I've got no interest in that. And no one else has got any interest in that at the moment, and we're not going to talk about that. I told you. Let's get to the end of the season. First time in a while you don't know who to give the man of the match to, as everyone did decently well, says Jeremy. Yeah, I think there's some contenders. I think Ronaldo's been fantastic again. I thought Matic was fantastic. I think Matic was fantastic. I actually think Varane and Lindelof have played really well as well. I mean, to be honest, David De Gea gets a 6. He's made a few saves, to be fair, but well, maybe you could give him a 7 if you want to be generous. But, you know, thankfully, he's not had a lot to do, which is the sign of a good performance. Good for the youth tonight. Can't believe we're getting a pink boots going away party instead, says Michael. And do you next season with this team and new manager, Manchester United could actually have a good season and quality for top 4, says Ricardo. And I'm not being bad, but have we put Rashford up on an undeserved pedestal to the point fans worry if he's not starting? But in reality, this is what happens when he's not on the pitch, says Chris. Look, he's not been good enough to be on the pitch. And he's not been good enough to be brought off the bench, has he? Let's be honest. This season, he's not been good enough. And what he does next season is up to him, isn't it? I think you're right. I think we need to stop talking about it. You know, he doesn't deserve to be in the team. The press will talk about it because it's Marcus Rashford, but ultimately he doesn't deserve to be in the team. Let him get himself back in the team and let's talk about it then. Mark, please don't leave, otherwise we'll have to watch matches with commentary. So Said, does Beth still work for the channel? Jamie, if you tuned in on Chime, Beth was on the channel before at the start of the game. Mark, can you confirm or deny if you personally plan to do World Cup watch-alongs in the winter, says Joshua Bellwater? I can neither confirm or deny. Mark, do you think Eric Ten Hag will be able to utilise Amad Diallo? After all, he was bought for 40 million. You'd hope so, Porrick. You'd hope so. When you spent a lot of money on a player, you would hope that you can get the most out of him. Having said that, it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer who bought him for that amount of money, and I think under Ole, he was going nowhere. So, yeah. We're starting to see more red seats now. A lot of people are probably leaving because it's 3-0 and we're going through the motions, and maybe they don't want to applaud the players at the end. I can sort of understand that. But remember, people like Mata and Matic probably deserve a bit of an applause at the end. But there's a lot of people walking out now. 5 minutes to go. There'll be a lot of people just wanting to get out early here now. Well, Jesse Lingard didn't get a goodbye, but maybe he's not going. Maybe that story about Ten Hag wanting to give him a chance is true. Hi, Mark. United should forget Rice, Neves and Phillips and bring in Basuma, Anthony, Timber and Nunez, says Desiree. I mean, I don't know. Who was the other sub that came on? I don't know, Fred. Fred's not going anywhere. I just tweeted it there. Maybe Lingard is staying there. Don't get the Cavani sub. Should be a spot for a youth in this game, says Cedric. I would have brought Garnacho on over Cavani. But maybe behind the scenes, Ranić's got on with Cavani. But I think Cavani's not really been a great servant to the club this season. Last season, I'll allow it. But not this season. I think since Christmas, Cavani's not delivered what we would have expected of him. But look, some people disagree with that because they love Cavani. Lovely ball into Cavani. Went for something spectacular. Yeah, let us know in the chat who your man of the match would be. Brentford away on Saturday, isn't it? And then we've got 2 weeks to the Palace game, which is just weird, really. But look, in relation to the league table, I mean, one thing that's probably not been discussed is that the league table for United at the moment, brilliant tackle by Varane, comes to the edge of the box, watch out, blocked, and De Gea gets hold of it. The interesting thing about the league table at the moment is we're on 58 points and our goal difference is now +5. So we've got a much better goal difference than Wolves, and you'd imagine West Ham are going to lose again, so their goal difference could start chipping away. This result tonight basically confirms Europa League football for us. Not officially, but I think it more or less does. And it means that, we've been on a bit of a bad run. Here we go. Could be a goal. Is that a penalty? Or did he slip? No, he slipped. I thought Varane I thought Varane had tripped him up for a minute there. Tony in the box. Varane was behind him, and Varane's nowhere near him, and it's a trip. It's not a trip. It's that. Yeah, but man of the match for me would be Ronaldo, Matic, or Mata. Those three have been brilliant today. All over 30 as well. The over 30s club. They've been magnificent tonight. A lot of fans still in the ground. You can't tell fans what to do. Let them make their own minds up. A few red seats as well. Yeah, yeah, there are. Does the next season start earlier than usual because of the Winter World Cup? It does, Joe. So the season will start on the 6th of August. There's no September international break, and there is a September international break, but it's the end of September. And then there's no international break until the middle of November for the World Cup. So a lot of games get played. This could be a goal here. Ronaldo goes wide to Bruno. He's got to have a look at where he wants to go. Oh, terrible pass. Mark, as a regular watcher of the Scottish Premier League, Ahmad has flopped hard at Rangers, often hiding in games when subbed on. He rarely gets off the bench now, says Jordan. Yeah, look, I think we've all got big hopes for Ahmad, but it's not gone well for him at Rangers. I think we can all agree with that. Mark, do you think Chong should stay at Birmingham, says Noel Fox? I mean, I don't know. Chong's an interesting one. I think he's done quite well at Birmingham City in the Championship. No one talks about him, though, because he's not really somebody that people... Oh, terrible kick by De Gea there. That's going to get clipped. Are you leaving us because United's head of recruitment, Mitchell, who Goldbridge in, take care regardless of the decision, says Rickster. Thank you very much for the super chat, Rickster. Mark's not a Bruno hater, Carl. Carl's not a watcher of the United stand. Carl's a Pratt. Definitely not a Bruno hater. He's before Ronaldo, he was my favourite player. So I still like Bruno. I think he needs to step up a lot. Is this the last time we see Ronaldo in a United jersey at home, says Alec Miller? I don't think so. I really don't think so, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of red seats now. A lot of people have left to get away, beat the traffic, whatever you want to call it. But I think there's going to be some who are going to stay behind. Probably because they want to give Mata and Matic an applause, really. Get your player ratings in, by the way. I forgot to tell you, get your player ratings in tonight for the match reaction. We'll be going straight on to the match reaction after this one. And player ratings, links in the description, or just go straight to theunitedstand.com. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Please, if you do the player ratings, make sure you do it tonight because they deserve it tonight. They've actually put in a good performance. Dortmund just got their Akanji backfill in Nico Schlotterberg for 25 mil. German international, better than Akanji player. United should have looked at, says Leon. Yeah, a few people said that, to be fair. Ronaldo applauding. I don't think he's leaving. That doesn't look like a leaving thing for me from Cristiano Ronaldo. Harry Maguire's there. I think they are going to do a bit of a walk around. The players are staying on the pitch. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Yeah, links in the description for player ratings. You can mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Mark, you were probably right. The favourites from the ex-manager had a detrimental effect. We can only now forgive and forget about that, says Marchie. Matic coming out onto the halfway line. Ranyuk him embracing. Yeah. Well, look, I'll keep an eye on that and we'll talk about it on the match reaction. It will push you over to there and I'll see you over there in a minute. Make sure you do your player ratings as well. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. And we'll talk about it on the match reaction. Lots to talk about and certain names to be called out as well as to why we played so well tonight and why we haven't most of the season. And I think many of us know why, and we'll be blunt on that.